Hello, people. Rebel TV. I'm having some issues tonight, partially with my internet and partially with my technological disadvantage. So bear with me for a second. I'm going to try to put in today's music. As usual, I play a number at the start that somehow relates to what we're going to talk about. But today it was kind of hard because I want to talk about science fiction, and it's all science fiction. So today I can play whatever I want. But I want to keep it light today, so I don't want to be so doom and gloom as always. Sometimes I'm in a good mood, and that's today. So today I have chosen a number that's a little faster. And while I get the last technical issues out of the way, hopefully you can hear this. So,
soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, slave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men, with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. But we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost.
So yeah, let's see if this is better. I have some questions because I noticed that my last couple of lives have been with poor footage. For some reason, I saw that my last two lives were very lousy when you look them back, and that's weird because oh, good, the sound is better. Because actually, I do a preview on the camera, and everything has been in order for the last 2 weeks. But when they appear on on YouTube after, the images are all smushed up. So, and I'm not sure we have some who were live last time where it was really bad. But when we do, I need to know if it looks bad. Can anybody verify that we have good image now? I'm glad the sound is working, but I need to know if the image is somehow grainy or something like that. Okay, so it looks good. Ken, I guess. I don't know what is wrong. Apparently, it was like that when we watched it back. But anyway, yeah. But I don't know if maybe it looks like that again when it uploads. Maybe it's something that goes lost from the live to the actual video that's put up after. I don't know. We have to ask somebody who have seen one of those lives. So, but yeah. Anyway, this is Rebel TV, and we are live again. Today we're just gonna talk about some funny stuff. I like to talk about movies. If you have seen me, I do that a lot. It's because I love science fiction. Well, I love the irony of science fiction. It's incredible. Actually, before I became this awake, I didn't really much care for science fiction. But after my awakening, I kind of watch science fiction all the time. So, well, there you go. You can change on a dime, right? And that's a good thing. Today I'm trying to piss them off a little, in a visual way, because I want to see if it's an algorithm picking up this, or it is somebody watching it. So today I wear it. I'm not going to say what's on the shirt. You can all read it. This is pure. Then you can read the text. This means pure in Danish. So, yeah. So let's see if they notice that. Yeah. I haven't planned much because I actually have been fighting with the technology for an hour or so. So it's very, very limited what I have planned today. I want to talk about science fiction. I want to talk a little about Hollywood and all that pre-programming there is on the screen, because there is a lot of that, and it has been forever. It's not a new thing. It's been amped up when in this millennium, but it's not a new thing. It's always been there. So I'm going to start out by giving you some of my favorites. If you've watched me before, you already know some of them, but I'm just going to shout out a couple of movies that I think are the one that is closest to reality, and yet it's not. It's science fiction that is on the verge that you should take it literally. So yeah, I want to give you a couple of examples. Of course, let's take a top 5. On 5th place, we have The Matrix. The Matrix is not exactly literally, but you can draw comparison to our little Bob, our fake reality, if you want. And yeah, it seems like there's not one sentence in that movie that is not about this life reality that we live in. That's just amazing that they could get everything right, if you ask me. When I watch The Matrix, I watch a documentary. Some get the answers they want. Some say it's science fiction. I see both. I see somebody who's doing some philosophic thinking, and also I see the everyday life in it. So it's kind of both. It's a big blockbuster movie. So it's on fifth place because it's a movie everybody knows, and actually I don't think it's as compelling as some of the others that I'm going to show you, that I'm going to talk about. On fourth place, another, for the same reason, another good movie. I'm going to say, what is it called with Donald Sutherland? I always forget that one. The Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The Invasion of the Body Snatchers is a movie from, I think, late 70s, early 80s. That's been made in several copies after then. It is a movie about some people who are taken over by an entity that copies them. If you've seen it, it's pretty weird at start, but if you see the whole movie, you could draw a comparison to what you're seeing today. You'll see these people become clones, become some other version of themselves, and point out other people who are not like them. And that's basically what it's about. And yeah, if you haven't seen The Invasion of the Body Snatchers, go see that one. That is a classic, if you ask me. On third place, I have Colony, because it's very relevant to what's going on right now. It's a series. It's not a movie. It's a series. I think it's still on Netflix. It's called Colony, and it's about the invasion of the Earth of some foreign entity that, in correlation with human, divides up the whole world in small cities. Every city gets a wall built around them, and you're not allowed to travel outside your wall unless you have a pass. And I think that is very relevant to what we're seeing now. They are boxing us in. They want to make all these small walls around us, so we can't interact. They want to divide us even further. As I said in some of my previous shows, I think it's going to be about the internet. I think the internet will be, you will have internet borders for countries, but I think in the US, for example, you will have them eventually on state basis. So you are not allowed to share information that's not valid to the authority across state lines. And I think that is what's coming next. I saw a news story in the European Union, and it's actually up for debate whether you should allow the borders to be closed with fences in Europe. Now they spent the last 20, 30 years opening the borders in Europe, and all of a sudden they want to close them all up because you have all these dangerous immigrants going over the lines. So yeah, now they're talking about closing the borders across Europe to protect themselves from illegal aliens, just the same narrative that they're building a wall in the United States against Mexico, you know. So basically the same story. We see fences go up everywhere, and yeah, I think that correlates to Colony, which everybody should see. That is the next 5 years, 10 years, is explained to you how they want it. It's not going to be these physical walls that are in Colony, but it is going to be you're going to be in a smaller enclosure than you're used to. Okay. Before we go any further, I want to shout out everybody who's here. I love it because we have Ken. We have Ken Claudia, and we have Voynich, all the usual suspects, all the good guys. We have Martin Haley, and we have Jennifer Kiesling. Welcome, everybody. It's good to see you. Yeah, today I'm just rambling about movies, and when I'm done, I want you to put in your favorite movies. You can start now if you want. Your favorite truth movies or reality-based science fiction, if you want. So yeah, I just started out with my top 5. Good to see you, Jennifer. On 5th place, I had The Matrix. On 4th place, I have Invasion of the Body Snatchers. On 3rd place, I have Colony. And on then we go to the 2nd place, which I kind of forgot because it's a movie I saw last week. What was it? Oh yeah, Extinction. Extinction is on my 2nd place. If you haven't watched that one, that is a good one. A big blockbuster movie as well. It's about, well, I don't want to disclose too much if you haven't seen it. It's about thinking you're something you're not, and then realize that you're something else, something totally different entirely. And it's not directly correlated to what we're seeing now, but it is correlated to how reality is based and how they change our minds about our reality and how you can manipulate people to think that they're something totally different than they really are. You know, disconnect them from their past. So that is what that is about. And on 1st place, we have no other than oh my God, I'm so blank today. Sorry, guys. Help me out. The one with the glasses, Roddy Piper. What is that movie called? No, I'm drawing a blank. You all know it, you know. So it's a movie that's basically showing everything they've been doing for the last 50 years. No secrets. They live. Thank you, Ken Claudia. They Live is on my 1st place because I really see that as so goddamn close to reality that it's mind-boggling. You know, I can't imagine any writer, producer, anything could think that shit up without knowing the truth. That is just impossible. It's a pretty old movie, and knowing that back in the 80s is, wow, we didn't, right? So I see that as documentary. You know, even the part where you see these evil entities who was infiltrated us. You know, I even see that. I see people around that doesn't look human anymore. So I didn't see them before. I see them now. After this, that's been going on for the last 2 years. I see him everywhere, just like he did in They Live. So, and what am I talking about? I'm talking about people without emotions. I'm talking about people without empathy, you know. So, yeah, the glasses were produced in a church. You just see all these small things in it. Every single detail, just a little like the Matrix. Every single detail has, you know, its place in this movie. There's nothing random, and that's what I love. You know, even when you just see the TV, when you have them sitting out in the back and just watching the TV, even the TV tells you, while nobody is talking in the movie, they still tell you what the fuck is going on. So I just love that movie. So let me hear your favorites. In meantime, I'm gonna drop out that link. This mic is annoying today. Everything is annoying today, but I'm glad you came. Yeah, that's the link. Yeah, lack of empathy, powerless invasion of the body snatchers. Yeah. And that's the society they want. They want us as drones, you know. Basically they want a beehive, you know. They want one queen at the top, you know. They want all the drones around her and the workers and the warriors, and you know, they want a beehive with a singularity, you know. So that's basically what they want, and the kind of people they want shows in both They Live and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. But I want to say hi to Ken because he's never been on my channel before, I think. So
hey, oh dang, I appreciate that. No, Rebelite, for whatever reasons, similar to Rachel's channel, I don't get notifications for when you're going to go live.
No, I know why.
And I credit LEB because I was in communication with her via texting, and she said, are you going to be on when Rebel's on later? And I'm like, oh, snap. When I do refresh YouTube, if you or Rachel are going live, it'll show a screen and it'll be like, you know, do you want to set a notification? Do you want to set a reminder rather, and that you are going live? So if I'm refreshing YouTube, because I mean, I was addicted to YouTube, I kind of still am, but that at least that'll come up, but I won't get a notification as soon as I come to my computer saying, hey, Rebel's going to go live in 4 hours. So I'm grateful that I was able to speak to you about that. Because I'm very reluctant to do what you and Algo are so brave, and I'm so proud of you guys. You, No Waste Thoughts, Michael Steele, for putting your voice out there. And then I get frustrated because you're a one-man show. You're organizing among your technical issues, you're adjusting everything. Yeah. And I put They Live even before you were, as soon as you mentioned about put your favorite movie, not really favorite movie, but the one most relevant to our times. And I put in They Live with Rowdy Roddy Piper, and I put his famous quote, I come to chew bubblegum and to kick ass and to chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of bubblegum. But what's so great of exactly how you described, and I don't know how they got away with it when that movie came out, because it's such an eerie parallel to what's going on right now.
hasn't it been like that for a long time? You know, you have movies telling us the truth, plain blank, and you have movies trying to hide the truth. Could it be that there's both a good entity and a bad entity in the movie industry? That's a question.
I'll agree with that, as well as what I've said on both Rachel and Michael's stream. That I believe that Hey, Matt Pyman, that in part, I forget if it's part of the duality of nature that good can't exist without evil. That for evil's spells to work, they need to tell us what they're doing, and that consciously or subconsciously, then as we buy into it, we help manifest what they want, or help their spells work. But as you're saying, so I don't know if they're working, if they have to, in a sense, work together. But that exactly as you're saying, we don't need specific glasses, but the glasses are also kind of a metaphor that certain people who have that type of vision are going to see it, and those who don't simply won't.
Yeah.
I know that absolutely Martin Haley 1984 is technically more relevant, but the worst part about
if you look closely on my shirt, you see that I think it's pretty relevant too.
of course, and that's a great reference. The problem with my own upbringing, we all grew up not liking school because we had to pay attention, we had to memorize. And 1984 was one of those books we were told about, even warned that it's important. And now more than ever, we understand the relevance of George Orwell, but and it's also so well known that we don't even need to we don't feel compelled. Well, I better read the whole book, because we know we get the gist of what it's all about, and it's what we're suffering through right now. That what he forecasted is coming to pass. This is a great way to show that. I don't want to, like, when we were growing up, science fiction wasn't taken seriously. Like, you'd never see anyone win an Academy Award for a science fiction movie. But it was like the fringes or the offshoot of Holly Weird to be able to get a message out, and where it would be written on.
The books were taken very seriously. The books were written by very serious authors. But Aldous Huxley was way before that, with Brave New World. That's back in the 30s. So it's not a new thing, and it was very prominent writers that did this science fiction.
Right, and they would get literary prizes for that. They would get recognition. And back then they didn't have big tech, so what did they do? In the 40s, especially under Hitler, they did book burning, because they wanted to, which certain people have told me is an echo back to the burning of the intentional allowing of the burning of the Library of Alexandria, because such a wealth of knowledge could benefit mankind. So if we destroy it, then they can't utilize it. They didn't have the censorship. I'm still surprised that we're able to meet through technology like this, Brian, where they're trying to successfully censor that with big tech's efforts, and it's so that there seems to be this sharp reversal of where they wanted to get it out through science fiction and through books, and now that's the antithesis to their narrative.
Yeah, and just like Matt, I love the comment Matt Pyman sent there. Make 1984 fiction again. That is a good one. Because
that's really good.
Because it went from science fiction to a horror movie, didn't it? In a heartbeat.
Well, and Voyage is also echoing Animal Farm. I remember being frustrated in school, having to read it, and then it opened my mind, going, well, some animals are more equal than other animals.
Yeah,
and
you talked about book burning. It reminded me of another movie I saw, a new one. Well, it's called Fahrenheit something.
Fahrenheit 451.
451. Yeah, and that's a modern movie about burning books, and all the narratives are there. So that amazed me kind of as well. there's a lot of movies going out of the picture, you know. So yeah, that was some good truth in that one as well. So yeah,
Good to see Sharkticon here.
yeah.
And
Shaktagon is here. Oh my God, I got Americans. What time is it at you, Ken?
it's 3:37 in the afternoon.
3:37
p.m.
Okay. So I'm catching you on your Sunday
afternoon
nap.
No, this is wonderful. Well, not even Sunday nap, but and I do have something going on later today, but it's things are that this is what frustrated me a couple streams ago with Michael. I'm not frustrated with Michael. I'm frustrated with our current state of affairs, where I'm so grateful. And Sharkticon is someone that will always remind me, although it's not limited to him, that we can get together and congregate like this to discuss these type of topics. But my frustration is because of how big tech and whoever else is succeeding in their censorship, that all we can do is talk. I do want to address an issue that Queen Boudica Radiant had mentioned in a previous stream, because I'm really happy to see her. And let her know that I agree with her 100%, specifically in that everyone has the freedom to decide on their perspective, and that's why we're all different. And Michael Steele's streams are particular, as well as at least the perspective I'm getting from yours, is that we're all welcome to say our piece. It's very open-minded. Certain other streams are not. And as a result, I'm becoming a little more discerning. Initially, when all of this happened over, 20 months now, people just kept, we all felt like we just need to get the word out. And now it's like you need to be a little more selective, because I'm feeling pressure from all sides, where certain people are, do this, don't do this. And similar to your, I love your verbal protest on your shirt. Because we don't want to say certain things, because using, I forget if you watch Matt Quantum of Conscience also.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Matt. Where we have to use certain words as code, because otherwise you're going to get a community guideline strike. But
not here.
Exactly.
We do whatever we want.
Again, I credit you and Michael Steele and Rachel Reenstra that it's given me the incentive. I personally don't feel that I have a lot to say, but that doesn't mean that I shouldn't step up in what way that I can, because every voice matters. I can't lead as effectively as yourself or as Michael Steele.
It's not about leading, Ken. Listen, I'm not here to lead anybody. I'm here to have a conversation. That's it. You don't have to deliver anything through this other than have a conversation with another human being like we are having now. That's what it's about. Nothing else,
Awesome.
This is never going to get monetized. This is never going to be shown on a big scale. I can't even find my own channel no more. It's gone.
Hot damn.
I wanted to show it to a colleague of mine last week, and I said I'm Rebel TV, and normally it works if you write one of my videos after Rebel TV, and he did, and nothing came up.
Wow.
And it's a video that has 1,100 views. It's my most watched video, and it couldn't be found anywhere. We had to go on DuckDuckGo,
right,
to find me. There you can find me out in the search engine. If you search for my most watched video and press videos in the corner, you will get me at the top. But when you search me on YouTube, you can't find me at all. So that's incredible. They totally disguised me. Apparently, what I say to my 180 subscribers matters a whole lot to this world. Even though they have all these anchors out there with millions of followers. How can I be at any discomfort for them? you know.
It isn't even the word discomfort as much as I guess they have enough eyes, technology-wise, or actual physical people that are reviewing the content, the breadth of the content of YouTube, where Voynich and several others in chat have correctly identified that any wrong think, and that's why your shirt's so effective. If there and how I think on a previous stream of Rachel's, I typed in a comment that I thought was either innocuous or just some degree of commentary, and within seconds, less than seconds, it was deleted. And so there's an algorithm that's catching if you use certain words that by and large somebody doesn't like, it will get removed. As you're saying that a certain amount of that content, particularly that video, and and you're right, not because of the size of your following, but because of the number of hits and number of views that video got traction on.
It's all my videos. You can't find any of them, you know. Even those who only have 50 views, you can't find those either, you know. So, but there's another reason for me wearing this today, because I'm not too sure it's an algorithm, you know. I still have a feeling you have people, because I've seen something that makes me wonder, you know. I don't know if you know what I do. I'm a damage control guy. So when you had a fire or a water leak in your basement or something like that, it's me that comes and save your building. I'm there for the building. The fire department are there for the people and stop the fire. Then I come in after and I save the building.
Right.
So that's my job. And I have been in the basement of the biggest Freemason lodge in Scandinavia, which is in Copenhagen. And I saw something that I found weird when I saw it. I saw a bunch of guys sitting in a basement in front of computers. So I never understood what that was about, and now I see this censorship, and I can't help wondering if they have guys sitting all over the world just watching shit, you know,
and they're getting paid very well for it.
Yeah, I think,
or possibly not even
that
getting
is a
paid,
possibility.
or saying, okay, you swore an oath, and now you're part of this lodge, and as part of being true to your oath, this is for today or however long we deem, this is your role, and you're assigned a seat and a monitor. Have at it.
Yeah, and I'm breaking my oath right now, because I actually have to sign a paper when I went down there, saying that I can't talk about anything or take pictures or anything down there. I have to sign a contract just to get in the basement.
I don't think you particularly you didn't mention anything by name or a location, so I don't believe you've doxed yourself on But
and I don't give a shit either. Really. So they can do what are they going to do?
Your good point is that the world's reached a point right now where before, your own personal sense of honor and integrity, that would have mattered. Right now, if you guys are going to break the rules, why should we abide by some of them? If you're presenting a greater threat, then my obligation to honor your request is null and void, because you're a greater threat than my breaching that is worth. And it's good to see no way.
To me, it's about respect.
Yes.
It's about respect. You know, I have a clear saying, that is the notion that I live by. That is my rule when I meet new people that I don't know. Everybody got my respect until they have proved they don't deserve it. Correct. That is how I go by life. That is how I meet people, you know. Everybody has my respect from the start, you know. Other people see respect as something you need to earn, you know. I don't see it like that. You got my respect when I meet you, and if you do something to compromise that, if you step over my borders, I'm gonna tell you that you stepped over my borders, and if you do it again, then you don't respect me and you'll lose mine. It's really that simple, you know. So people will get a warning from me if they step over my boundaries, and if they don't change their way, then it's because they don't respect me. It's that simple.
That, or in what many of these books, as you referenced, and I didn't read Huxley's Brave New World, but I imagine similar to 1984 and Animal Farm, some of these people are using the excuse that serpent, Freudian slip there on my part, for certain people in the of German descent had claimed in the 1940s, I was just following orders.
Yeah.
And
The Nuremberg trial, yeah.
but where someone, the reason that they're, whoever they are, either they're brainwashed, controlled, under orders, or that they have a greater fear of whoever is above them, that's compelling them or making them feel that they are doing what's right, or they're just doing their job or following orders in oppressing you, me, and society. That they have an allegiance to that more than they do to each of us as being fellow human beings.
If you're following orders blindly, then you are not following that moral compass, right? So
correct. Yes.
And you need to keep that alive. I admit it's pretty hard in these days. Even I, who are very aware of what's going around me, I still fall victim to do stuff that I really don't want to do, you know. And
right. We all do.
Yeah, and I can imagine that. How can we even demand that people that are not awake like us even see this deception when we still fall for the traps, even though we are aware, you know? So
and part of them are it's by design. And you're referencing Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. The Matrix, it seems so real. I would say a little more than 2 years ago, I might say Ellie would have warned me, not warned me, but alerted me that you would have a live, and my brain would be like, yeah, I'll get to that, but I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And now my brain is like, I have to be part of this conversation, because everything in reality that's like, well, I want to do this, I want to do that. A phrase I loved saying in other live streams, possibly weapons of mass distraction. They don't seem harmful, but they're there to do exactly that. Distract you from your attention of what's really going on, and addressing I'm sorry for repeating myself, but you guys stand up as an inspiration to me, where these conversations need to be had, because if I keep allowing the Matrix to say, okay, well, I've got to do this. I'm meeting a friend for drinks at 2.5 hours from now, and I'm still going to go meet him, but that shouldn't be a priority more than taking time to speak on this type of subject matter because of what's at stake.
You can do it. You're speaking right now, Ken. There's no difference.
That's exactly why I have to show up.
Imagine there's no difference of you being on my live or me being on your live. It's the same shit. It's a poll between two guys from two places in the world, you know? So this conversation would be exactly the same whether I'm hosting or you're hosting. You know?
Exactly.
So that's what I want to say. You don't do it for other people. Do it for yourself. You know?
Of course. But I'm saying that me from probably a little over 2 years ago, and my awakening has been a slow process. Hey, Joe Dirt and Rationally 29. That I wouldn't make catching your live a priority. And almost at this moment of realizing it's not that it has to be a priority, but it's more important than everything else that I supposedly have going on in the little box that's been generated by my eyes and what's in between my ears, because we really don't know what reality is. And conversations like this with you, with Michael Steele, with No Ways Thoughts, make all the difference in the world because of what's at stake, because that we can still have the conversation for now.
We make a difference in each other. We're not changing
Absolutely.
the world, Ken, at all.
Absolutely.
We're just having a conversation. We need to stop looking at this as we have to save the world. We can't. How?
Thank you.
on
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a truth bomb. That's a mic drop and a truth bomb right there.
We don't have to save the world. How can we? Look at the propaganda out there. Just go outside your door and look at the commercials and the propaganda going around all the world. How are you going to compete with that on YouTube? We can't. Even if we wake up two people, we lose 1,000 every day. It's a losing battle, and we're never going to win like that. That is not why I'm here. I'm here to talk like we're doing now. You know why? You know what I'm doing? I'm recharging. That's what I'm doing. When I go out there and I see all the bullshit that I see every day, it gets to me, and
Yes.
it gets me in a place that I don't want to be. And I go here and I meet good people like yourself and I have a conversation and I go out and I feel good again. It's a recharge, that's what it is to me.
Absolutely.
So I don't know, it sounds a little selfish, but it's really not, because I'm giving the same thing through here to you. As
you
you're
are. Oh my
me,
God, you really are.
Two-way street, So
It's
and
breaking the
everybody is
cognitive
welcome.
dissonance, absolutely, of where I felt very strange. I felt like I was in my own science fiction movie. To get it back to the goal of your stream, where when I went to the hospital, working at the hospital before, I felt like an insider or a double agent, in that I am standing right next to people who have all bought the narrative, and yet I see the goodness inherent in their own humanity still. I'm not dismissing that certain people who have seen people who have taken the medical device lose feeling, but I still see them helping to save other lives, and being able to see that I won't have the same conversation that you and I are having, but that to refresh my soul and renew a different part of my faith in humanity, having conversations with you is like, I remember watching They Live, and Rowdy would take the glasses off, and it would be the normal propaganda: consume, obey, etc. Then we put the sunglasses back on it, or rather, he'd see a regular advertisement when he took the glasses off. When he put it back on, he saw the subliminal message. And getting back in touch with all of you, Queen Boudica Radiant and Mad Pyman and Mr. Mensa, where I'm not going crazy. I am seeing two worlds, but I'm more grounded in agreeing with what our common perspective of it is versus all the virtual reality and programming that they're constantly beaming out.
Yeah, and I see it all the time. Now it's like now I can't even take my glasses off. That's my problem. At the start you had the choice. You could put it aside. You could watch a movie. You could do something else. You can. I drown myself in jiu-jitsu. So that's what I did, and everybody can drown themselves in something. But now I'm at a point where I'm so awake now, so I see it everywhere. Even in the places where it even in people, I see it in people. Now I can't be in a crowd bigger than 5.
Wow.
Because what these people are talking about is so, I want to say stupid, but let's say irrelevant.
It's the narrative. They've been they're doing what they're playing into what the agenda wanted them to wanted their version of participation.
They don't see it like that. They see it as their own thoughts. Remember that, they
and what's more.
For them, it's real. They thought this shit up, but actually, it's made in their mind through the subliminal messages they get all over.
Correct.
It's not their own thoughts.
Yes. The indoctrination, that the mind control, the subliminal messaging has been effective. When I think an example Michael Steele gave on one of his lives when I mentioned, well, what if we had this massive data dump of adrenochrome and everything else? And I was saying to Michael that maybe it would make people lose their minds. And he said, no, what it would happen is that it would just bump off their foreheads. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out some people while we do. Matt Pyman, welcome. Rationality 29. LEB, Joe Dirt, welcome. Good to see you, man. Mr. Mensa. So Queen Bodhica Radiant. There's a little argument going around with that one. But yeah, and No Way. You're here too. Good to see you, man. Anyone I missed? And Shaktikon Gnaw. What is the Gnaw?
Sharkticon Gnaw. Well, the G is silent. It's Sharkticon Gnaw. Like how when you're chewing or gnawing on like dogs gnawing on a bone.
Okay, yeah.
It's good. It's always good to see LEB. I do actually something came up. Rebel, I'm gonna have to bow out for a bit. I will try to come back.
It was so good to see you again.
It's great. It's great to get together with everybody. I will try to when I do come back, I'm going to try to be in the chat. Brian, keep doing what you're doing. Again, I add you to the relatively short but growing list of people who are inspiring me, because your best bit of inspiration to me now is the conversation doesn't have to be about anything. It's just being willing to have a conversation with someone and see where it goes.
And as I said before, the conversations out there are not that inspiring anymore. So we need to have this conversation with each other, because I can't talk about politics. No, I even can't talk about sport. I was a big jock when I was a young guy, and I can't even talk about sport no more. It doesn't.
You're right. I can't enjoy movies anymore, because when I start watching, it just feels like, okay, when is the programming going to kick in? When are they going to try to tell me how to think? And at any rate, so I'll try to bounce back, guys. Hopefully this won't take too long. But
that's cool. It was good to see you.
I will try to be. It was great to see you, man, and I'll try to be tuning in on a more regular basis.
I do this for me. If you want a part of it, you bring it on. That's what it's about.
But that's what you've reminded me, is that the great point being, and I want to address the issue that you said of it being selfish. It is, in a sense, it's selfish, but in a good kind of way, because this is part of your self-care. Yeah. Self-care is making sure that you're a phrase I use, I think it's a variation of Alan Watts. How can you give water to other people if your own well is dry? This helps refill your well.
You can't pour from an empty cup,
It refills my well. So I'm grateful. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll be in chat.
As long as I have people to talk to, I will be doing what I'm doing.
Awesome, brother. I'll see everybody soon.
See you, Ken. Bye-bye. That was lovely to have Ken. He hasn't been on my show before, so that was cool. I'm just gonna find that link again. Drop it in there. We were talking about movies in Hollywood today, and now we ended up talking about all kinds of other shit, and that's how we roll here. We have a topic until we create a new one, and that's what it's about today. I want to address this. Today I'm wearing this shirt just to see if somebody is watching, or if they actually have an algorithm picking up words. So today I'm not going to use all those fancy words that we are not allowed to say. I'm just going to wear this shirt, and I'm going to see what happens. So yeah. If anybody want to join, you can do so. I just put in the link, and anyone is welcome to join. And just give me something. Give me some of your favorite movies. We have been through many of them, but there's a lot that I haven't that haven't been mentioned yet. I can say some of my a favorite author of mine was Stephen King back in the days when I was young, and I didn't see the horror movies that he's described to make. When I saw Stephen King, I saw reality. You know, I saw human behavior. I saw evil, and I think what he was describing was the evil that we all have inside us. Just a second. Now I have technical issues again. And now they're over. See, I'm getting good at this. I didn't see a killer clown. I saw the evil that was in each and every one of us. There's the, what do you call the one with the hotel? Was very good with Stephen King. The evil, what do you call it? I don't know what's the English word for it. In Danish, it was called the Evil Hotel. Yeah, exactly, LB. Pennywise took fear and fed it on fear. And I think actually it was just people's own manifestation. You know, that's what it shows. It shows people in the worst possible scenario, where we are able to create and manifest our own worst nightmares. Oh, I just thought of another movie. It's called The Sphere. Have you seen that one? Where you have a bunch of underwater astronauts, if you want, divers, investigating a spaceship where there's a sphere in it, and when they come close to it, they are able to manifest their own worst nightmares. It was kind of the same thing. So yeah, I love that one too. And of course, The Shining. Yeah, well, we all know that one. That is a classic, and I think it's the same guy that made the moon landing, so we know he's a part of the creme de la creme. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that, but Johnny was pretty scary too. I don't know this one. The Langoliers. I don't know that one. Is that a movie or a book? And another one I like is, of course, what do you call it? Well, Idiocracy. Good movie, you know. Could we mention some more? Of course, we have like Algo. He was on about. We had X-Files back in the 90s. There was a lot of truth bomb in there as well, and there are some in Long Kiss Goodnight as well. Oh, this is a good one. Good one, LAB. I forgot all about that one. The Village. Ain't that a bitch about what we're discovering? I don't know how many flat earthers we have here, but if you haven't seen The Village and you're a flat earther, you know, that's going to blow your mind. It's basically people living in a confinement where they're told that within their borders is everything they know and there's nothing outside. And yeah, good one. Yeah, Martin Haley, The Truman Show. Oh. Yeah, that one speaks for itself. Is another reality dome-based movie, where it's about everything is within your little bubble, and you are convinced that there's nothing outside that bubble. And that brings me to another narrative that's why it can be hard to talk to people about the things that we know, because their bubble is smaller than ours. I'm not, well, I'm not calling them stupid, but their bubble is less, they don't know anything without their bubble. Their bubble contains their whole reality. And if your bubble is bigger than theirs, you can stand outside their bubble and knock on the window as long as you want. They're not going to see you, you have to go in there in their own bubble and drag them out and show them the world that's outside their bubble. That's the only way you're going to go anywhere with these people. Children of Men, another good one, Matt Pyman. Yeah, it's not a secret that they wanna eradicate our ability to have children. They have been looking for that for centuries. Actually, the word vaccination comes from sterilizing horses back in the days, believe it or not, but that's the narrative I've read. So yeah, at some point it is their plan to sterilize us, and the Children of Men shows a world that's totally sterilized, where you can't have kids, and yeah, and a lot of similarities there too. Oh yeah, this is good. No way. Demolition Man. There's so much truth in Demolition Man, and you'll see the division between the upper and the lower class. There's a whole lot of class in this movie, class division. Where you have the rich people sitting at the tacos upstairs, even eating gourmet dinners at tacos, and you have the what do you call them? The revolution guys beneath the ground eating rat burgers. It's this is really great. If you haven't seen Demolition Man, you should, and I'm probably sure most people have. Yeah, this mic is in all the wrong places today. There we go. That's much better. So yeah, a lot of good movies. And isn't it amazing that we can just sit here and yab on movies after movie? It's insane how much truth that's actually out there, and it's not by coincidence that these people are making this shit up. It's not just some guy sitting and having an idea and a fantasy and making sci-fi movies. Not when it's this close to the truth. So reality, let's say it like that, reality. So I don't believe any of this is by coincidence. Whether it's a yin and a yang thing, where you have them telling us what they're doing, you have some entity trying to wake us up and another entity trying to dull us asleep, or it is all just the good cop and the bad cop rolled up in one. It could be like that too, but it's very obvious to see that the game is rigged in Hollywood, and and everything is there for a reason. Now it's just to open your eyes and see everything, because I've seen a lot lately. If the best places to go is HBO and Netflix, there's all the truth bombs. I have trouble watching it because I think it's lousy made with lousy actors, but I still force myself to watch it just to get all the little breadcrumbs that they throw in there. The plan is obvious. I guess It's about deceiving mankind until everything you believe is false, just like a prominent guy said in the United States. Yeah. I'm dropping that link again if you want to join me and discuss movies and Hollywoods and or anything else you want to talk about. Somebody just joined. I see. I put a sound on. Normally, I can't see anybody when they join because it's just a picture in the corner. But I found a little notification in the settings that plays a beep when somebody joins. So now I see it right away. I see my friend Voynich from south of Amsterdam.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's me. How you doing?
Yeah, that's you. There you are. Are you good, my friend?
I'm okay. Yeah, not too bad. No use complaining, right?
Yeah, well, I'm complaining every day. It's a fucked up world. It's all right. So is the nonsense still on, or is it off just like here?
Is what still on?
All the nonsense.
Oh no, it's still on. Of course, it's warp speed, man. It's getting worse by
Yeah.
the day.
Oh yeah, it's almost gone. They don't not even talking about it no more.
Right? It's I try just not to interact with anything or anybody. Like I just don't. Just don't. I just won't even give it.
As I said before, it becomes difficult, because you don't have anything in common with these people no more. That is the problem, right?
Yeah.
And even the things you have in common, you have to watch what you're saying. So
as a result, I just don't.
Yeah, it's the easy way, but well, we need to talk, that we are made like that,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, but talking is an offensive activity these days. If you have an opinion, that's
there you go. That's offensive. Don't have opinions.
You can lie about yourself. You can lie about me, but don't have an opinion, dude. That's just offensive.
Yeah.
Just start lying, okay? Start
Yeah.
lying. That's the norm these days.
Yeah.
And today
That's right.
I had a request by YouTube. If I like their service, would you please enter this? Would you please enter your answers in this form? I said, yeah, I want to do that. It's really started to suck, YouTube. It's been starting to suck for years now. Change it. So,
yeah. Yeah, if there's not a box where that's called "Go fuck yourself," I'm not crossing that off anyway. So I'm at that point where you remember another movie I want to talk about is Good Will Hunting. Remember that one?
Never seen that one. No.
Nope. There's a point where Matt Damon he thinks back on his dad, because his dad was a violent man, and he used to beat him, and he used to put his belt and a wrench on the table, and he asked him to choose, and he always took the wrench. He said, "I always take the wrench," and the shrink that was talking to him said, "Why?" And he said, "Fuck him. That's why."
That's badass.
And that's how I feel now. If you want to hurt me, I'm gonna stand right in front of you. Come, give me your best shot. I'll take it, and I'll still be here. So I'm not gonna try and go somewhere else. I want to be in the front line. I want to be here where I'm not allowed to be. That is a rebel's job, to do what he's not allowed to do. Because if we don't do it, what does it matter? We can have these conversations for ourselves on other platforms, but wouldn't it be nice to be somewhere where we are actually making a dent as well? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm with you on that one, but hear me out.
Yep.
What do you
I
think
will.
will change? Imagine yourself being Truman in the Truman Show, right? And he's waking
Mm,
up. But guys,
mm,
it's not stars. It's just stage lights. And,
yeah.
what are all these people around him gonna say? They might say, "Oh yeah, now I see it too." Oh yeah. Some might not agree with him and say, "No, no, no. It's just come on. You should just continue. Just keep the show rolling, right?" I mean, nothing's gonna change for Truman. Nothing's gonna change for Truman. I'm Truman in my world. I'm literally Truman. I know
Yeah,
everybody
the
around me.
difference between Truman and your world is that everybody in Truman's world is in on it.
Yeah,
And it's not in your world. That's the difference, you know.
that might be the difference, but I'm not convinced. I'm really not convinced.
I know what you mean. I know exactly
So,
what you mean.
you can't keep on playing stupid forever.
Yeah, you can only blame so
Especially-
much on ignorance, right? That's how we feel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I know I'm a smart guy, I'm intelligent, but I cannot keep on saying that, you're just too stupid to understand this. When they start
Yeah.
calling red blue, it's not stupid. That's just plain out lying. And when you want me to believe that, that's just psychopathic.
Yeah.
That's torture.
Yeah.
So,
And then we just turn our back and say, I'm not having this conversation with you, you know?
right. Yeah. But,
Because
yeah.
we know better now. Don't have this conversation, you know?
Right.
Don't try to convince the dog that the bone tastes terrible, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Because the dog is going to eat it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have
Favorite
any
movies.
movies you want to... What?
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is good too.
I really love that movie, man. Just every time anybody asks me what's your favorite movie, that one always comes up. I just enjoy that movie just like nothing else. I mean, that
Yeah,
was so freaking absurd and so dopey, and also many truth bombs in there, man. There's also many truth
there
bombs.
is. You have to look for them, but they're there.
Oh, yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, that is a good
Yeah.
one. I have to watch that
Yeah.
soon. As I haven't watched that for ages.
No. First time I watched it, I was on shrooms though. We were like, "Come on, we're gonna watch this movie," and said, "Yeah, but we're gonna watch it on drugs, okay? Let's get ourselves some mushrooms." And so we both ate the mushrooms and said, "First time when we start to feel something tingling, we're gonna push play." And that was just excellent way to view that movie. I can recommend that to everybody.
Yeah, I stopped that a long time ago.
Yeah, me too.
So
By the way,
it stopped 3 months before I had my kids. That was it.
yeah,
So
wise decision.
yeah, the only decision, if you ask me. But yeah, that is what it's about, you know, just growing up and get wiser. I feel like that's all we can do in these days, you know. And you can have all the fun and opinions you want, but it's all going to change. And I see that, you know, with all the movies that I see even science fiction movies with truth in it that change my perspective sometimes, you know. And sometimes I have to stop myself because I don't know whether the notion they're putting out there is there to fuck with my mind. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I get caught between discovering it because they know that we want to see all the breadcrumbs in there. So maybe they're throwing in some salt that looks like breadcrumbs. You understand? So we get some fucked up shit between all the truth, and so yeah, I have to watch myself sometimes.
Yeah, you got
Uh,
to be careful with that. But the same goes
mm,
for these for all the videos that we see on the BitChute or the YouTube.
yeah,
The other day I was watching a video that was just about tourism. There was no need to to do anything with photoshopping or anything. But the whole video was just completely photoshopped together. Maybe it was even a video that was made by artificial intelligence. I don't know, but it was done in such a crappy way that even I could discover it. And I'm not a real tech
Yeah.
guy. I don't know to Photoshop.
No, you can see it just with your
So-
gut feeling, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, if they like to make even such insignificant clips or videos made by artificial intelligence, I mean, imagine what they can do with just these newborn babies, these black-eyed babies or anything. I mean, I don't know if I should buy that. You know? I don't know.
Well, it's been there for a long time. Black-eyed peas has been a word that's been used for 50 years, so why not?
Yeah, but black-eyed babies is something else, right?
Yeah, but peas could be those little small eyes, you know, the pupils inside the so I don't know. I don't know. There's so much weird shit going on now, and it's going so fast that it's impossible to be on top of everything. You just can't no more. You know, you could back 30 years ago, you could be pretty much on top of what they were doing. You know, you had a Agenda 21, and it was pretty narrative. It was all under one flag. Now it's just all over the world in different lights and in different variations. The truth is so obscured. Even the truth is mixed with corruption and yeah. You have to spend most of your days just going through shit to actually see what's going on. You know.
Well, that's definitely true. It's like a digging for gold, right? I mean, you have to sift through all the bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's also what I say to people when they say, "Yeah, but you watch these YouTube movies or these YouTube videos and all these internet theories. It's all bullshit, you know." And I tell them, "Yeah, I know. You know, I sift through it all, and since I've been sifting for many years, I know where to go to find the good stuff, you know. And besides the good stuff, I still look into other stuff too, and I have to sift through all the bullshit to come out with the things that I present to you. And what do? You just turn it off like oh, that's bullshit. No, this is not bullshit. This is the real stuff, you know. And I might be wrong too, but just people just dismiss it, you know. That's
but it's not. It's contrast to National Geographic, so it must be wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Or they tell me, "Do you know how easy these images can be manipulated?" I said, "Yeah, I know. I know how easy they can be manipulated. Yeah. I mean, do you ever watch the news? Yeah, every night. Right? So shall I say the same thing to you? No, but they would never lie. Oh, okay. No. What
Don't
is there
touch
to
the
gain?
news. You know, the news is like gospel.
What do they gain by lying to you? Of course, they wouldn't lie to you. No, they would just lie to me on YouTube via the videos because they can gain a lot of money with that, don't they? I mean, these people just you know, you've been there.
You know, sometimes I had conversation with people, you know, for hours where we actually sitting and discussing these topics, and we have a really good conversation. And at some point, they say, "So you believe the news is fake too?" And I say, "Yeah." And then they go like, "Oh, then I'm not even gonna go there. Now you're just an idiot," you know. They were ready to talk about 9/11. They were ready to talk about the moon landing. They were ready to talk about all that shit, you know. But once I said the news was fake, you know, they were all up in arms. Then they're not going to talk to this idiot.
Yeah, and people seem to look out. They seem to look out for that final excuse that will have them dismiss you, right? So you probably also think that the Earth is flat, right?
No, I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah.
And the next one is where's the edge? So
right. Yeah.
I had that conversation yesterday.
Oh yeah.
you know, where trying to explain, you know, because it's been raining in Denmark, you know. So he said, "Where's the edge?" And I pointed at a puddle in the middle of the street, and I said, "Where's the edge of the puddle?
Yeah.
What's beyond?" He said, "What's beyond our borders?" Because I told him about the puddle and the ice wall around it, and he says, "What's beyond?" I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like, once you say you don't know, then they feel like they're off the hook, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So you don't
so
have a model. Yeah, exactly. We don't have a model because, we know that models
that's the
usually
problem,
don't
you
work.
know. I used to have a model and I found out it was wrong. Now I have no model, so I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to create
Yeah.
one.
Give us a model.
Yeah.
Give us a model so we can smash it.
Yeah. But that is funny, you know. Uh,
And have you seen the movie The Cube? The Cube or
oh,
Cube?
yeah. Where they're trapped inside this prison, like where they have to escape from room to room, right? That one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I've
one.
seen that one. Yeah,
That one was pretty freaky too. I mean, I really love the concept. It was
yeah,
a bit of horror, but it's a very good and cool concept, especially the end when you see it's all shifting and they will never
yeah,
probably never get to the outside. And what then? They on the outside, and then there's nothing on the outside, There's only the cube
yeah,
of cubes. It's a crazy movie.
yeah. I saw a new movie as well. I don't remember the name of it. I think it's called Levels or something like that, where you had you have a level system where you are living on a floor. It's like a prison, and there's an elevator going down with all the food on it, you know. So it starts with all this first. If you're at level one, you get this. When the elevator comes down, you get all this first class food, and then it goes down and down, and when you are on the if you're on the 50th level, you get all the scraps, you know. So have you seen that one?
No, it's sort of like the same concept, but
Yeah, you should see that one. It was on Netflix. I'm not sure it's there anymore. Saw it like 18 months ago. It came out 2 years ago or something like that. I'm not sure it's called Level, but it was something like that. Floors or levels or something. That is an insane movie. You will dig that one. I'm pretty sure. If you
I
like
haven't watched.
the cube concept, you're gonna love this one.
Yeah, I haven't watched the movie in
Yeah,
years.
Elia's seen it. I can see. Yeah,
Level 16.
yeah. That is an insane movie. It's about it's basically about the pyramid, about class division, where you see the people at the top having pissing on the people below him and stuff like that. You know, it's a class division movie. It's
Yeah,
pretty nice. Platform. That was the name. That's what it called. It's called Platform.
yeah. And
So
I've also
yeah,
heard about this new series, or is it a movie? Squid Game. That looks pretty.
my son is
So
talking about that. My
yeah.
son is talking about that. I haven't seen it. No, my daughter wants to be a character from Squid Game to Halloween. She told me it looks like a ninja or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, the one with the
Yeah,
with the mask and the triangle on it, right?
yeah. But I haven't seen it. No, maybe I have to. My kids are talking about it, so yeah.
I haven't seen
Uh,
it. I just saw some clips of it and heard the concept, and it's pretty dystopian, and it's very telling about the times that we are entering. You know,
yeah,
if we don't watch out, if we don't stand up.
yeah.
So yeah,
But yeah, do we stand up or do we break away? That is a big question. Where are you on that one?
Well, I'm standing my ground. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not the one to break away. I don't have the options. You know, I don't have money. I
Oh,
don't
but
have.
if we could all just break away and create our own society in northern Finland or something like that, uh, if that
Oh,
was a
I would.
possibility, would you choose that or would you choose to stand and fight?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe I would just do both, just a bit of both. I would just book the ticket to Finland and leave a bomb, something like that.
That's a good one. Yeah, yeah, maybe.
No, you know,
I'm not that guy, and I don't think you are either. But you
no,
know,
no. I think
uh,
I'll take the breakaway option. Yeah,
yeah, I would do it if I knew there was a place where we were gathering. You know, people like us. I would definitely go there.
yeah,
So, uh, but I would also fight for my rights. You know, I would fight for my rights until it was last resort. You know,
yeah,
and then I would break away. No doubt about it.
yeah.
Yeah. So you have anything you want to discuss with us?
Oh, probably, but I have to think about it.
Yeah.
Was things I wanted to discuss. No,
Must be something on your mind.
let me get a beer. Give me a second.
All right. I'm adding Norway. Now we're having a threesome, you know?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So how you doing, man?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. We're just waiting for supper to get done, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're on a different time level than me. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
it's bedtime where I'm at. So
yeah, it's about 5. What is it? Yeah, about 5:30
yeah.
p.m. here. So,
Oh
but
yeah,
yeah,
you are on the East Coast, right?
East Coast. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. No, I'm doing fine. It's winter time's on its way here, so the days are getting colder and colder, and so yeah, it's
It's pretty cold here as well now in the morning. So normally it hasn't been that cold the previous couple of years, but this year it's pretty cold already. So I hope we
yeah.
get winter. I hope get to see snow this year.
Well, it's weird here. This is we had a very rainy and cool summer, but
Yeah,
now for autumn, it's warmer. It's above average. Usually we're in the 40s during the day and
yeah.
20s at night, but geez, now we've been in 50s and 60-degree weather and only the 40s at night, and so I like
Now I
it
heard it
as
was
long.
pretty cold in UK too. How about
Yeah,
the Netherlands, Voynich? How
right.
is it cold
No,
there?
it's no, it's reasonable. It's okay,
Okay, because here we are under 5 degrees. That's not normal for this time of year.
right?
Yeah, that's right. You guys are on Celsius, not Fahrenheit. I think 5 degrees. Holy
Oh,
cow! The wood. Better go get
oh,
the wood
we're
stove
Vikings.
going.
We can do 5 degrees.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's such a drag, to convert those Fahrenheit and Celsius.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
way
weird.
too hard to do in your mind, right?
Yeah,
It's
I can't do
divide
it
by
either. You
3
know, the
minus
Americans seem to
30.
be pretty good at it. You know, but I can't
Huh.
do it.
No, I
yeah.
can't
I
do it.
don't. I don't try. All I know is that if I can see my breath, it's cold.
I
Right?
know when
Yeah.
it's 30, it's about zero. That's something like 30 degrees is about zero.
Right. Right.
So that's all
Our
I know.
our 32 is your zero.
Yeah.
And
So I know when I hear the word 30, then I know it's getting cold.
right. And when we get times here in the winter, here in Maine where I am, that yeah, we have wind chills 40, 50 below zero. And yeah, that's about the same, temperature as Celsius. But yeah, it gets crazy here. When you get a 50 below zero wind chill, because it's 20 below with wind blowing, nothing wants to move. Cars don't want to start. Nothing. It's just everything just wants to
I
go
don't want
dead.
to move either.
No, no. And that's the good thing. The little puppy, she doesn't want to go out there when it's cold either. So I get to stay inside because it's impossible for me to breathe when it's that cold. My
Yeah, I know.
lungs, yeah, my lungs are already so far gone that the cold just boom shuts them right down. So, but you were talking reality and
Oh, I do
and
that a lot.
fiction. But the one thing I think people need to remember is a person's reality is only what they care to believe. If they believe this is true, then in their heart, they will believe it's true. So when you're looking at the biggest hoax ever played on the world that's going on right now, a lot of these people, you have to understand, they're going along with it, but in their heart, they truly believe it's real. And that's the problem, is that they believe it's real. And you
Right.
can't convince them otherwise. And they won't even look at statistics. They won't look at stats. They won't look at, you can prove it to them beyond the shadow of a doubt that they're being lied to and they're being deceived.
Yeah.
And they won't look at it. And that's where I know a lot of me, it's a lot about the Bible and a lot about biblical aspects of it. So when you look at a lot of the scripture talking about these days, even the deceivers are being deceived.
Yeah.
That's part of Second Timothy. So they don't realize that they're being deceived, and they're deceiving the people. And it's
That's
crazy.
what we need. We need to be vigilant, even with people that are doing good or thinks they're doing good. Because some of the people that actually are good people are still doing bad stuff just because they don't know any better. So
Right. And it is too bad. It's like the nurse that comes here every week to do the infusion on the meds that are saving what's left of my lungs. Now, she doesn't believe in the medical device only because it hasn't been tested properly. But she fully believes in the other part.
yeah,
And there's when I try to explain certain things to her, because I mean we got 45 minutes to sit here and talk about whatever. And but she will come right out and say she doesn't want to hear it because it scares her. And
Yeah.
now that told me something right there that I think that's what it is with a lot of people. It scares them so bad. The truth scares them so bad they don't want to hear it. They just want to, no, I'm going to just ignore that part. And it's like, well, the truth is the truth. And if the truth scares you, what else do we do? you know?
I heard a similar experience the other day of a guy that wanted to show this girl a movie, a truth movie, and she really dug the movie, right? She really digged it, and he saw it, and then there was a break, and she said, "Well, I'm not gonna watch the rest of the movie because I feel that I'm starting to believe it." And the guy was just like, "Well, yeah, I don't want to believe that, that they literally this was her reaction, like, I feel that it's becoming true, and I can't stand that. I mean, it's what people do.
Right.
Yeah, and it's getting hard to see, you know. And the hard part is that you can't do you can't do anything about it. Yeah, you know,
No, you
the
can't.
helplessness is the worst feeling. You know, if you could just change a person's perspective by working hard at it, you know, then we would do it. I would do it, you know, but you can't. You know, they have to do that themselves. You just have to throw it on the table and have them go through it themselves. You know, and there's nothing you can do about it. But
Right. And that's why, like, the videos I do, I try to be as kind as I can. And
Mm.
I understand that, you know, those that want to hear the truth and try to understand the truth, they're going to listen. And those that don't, they're just going to probably give me a thumbs down or try to give me some nasty, belligerent comment, and they're going to move on. And
Mm.
I accept that. You know, like when I was doing the podcast, it was a lot easier because I would sometimes open up the phone lines, and usually within the first 3 or 4 words, I knew where they were going, and I had my finger right on the kill switch,
Mm.
and I would send them into Bolivian.
I,
But
I see
you
that a
have to.
little differently because if there come some totally asleep person on this show and wanted to talk, you know,
Hmm.
I would greet them with open arms. You know, they have actually if they choose to be here and have a conversation with people they know are talking about something that's off the topic, you know, uh,
Right.
then I will give them what they're here for, you know, and I will be kind and I will be polite. You know, I will change in an instant. Everything the way we are talking now, I would change that in an instant if there was a person that was on the narrative side here, you know, because I would
Yeah.
try to lurk them into this reality quietly. Because if we're just sitting here throwing bombs at them, you know, and talking like we usually do, they would just be overwhelmed, you know, and
Oh yeah. I had lots of conversations where they didn't agree, and we would. All I ever asked is, you have to be kind. You know, don't throw out. I don't want a lot of profanity and hateful remarks. If you could be kind, then I'll be kind. But if you're going to come there just to attack me and attack the listeners and attack the chatters, then I wouldn't put up with it. And that's where I would end it.
yeah.
But yeah, I had lots of conversations with people that sitting there talking about the Bible, and I had a guy call in that was Muslim,
Mm.
but he was curious, and he was kind, and he would talk about his belief, and I would talk about, and we went on for a good half hour, 45 minutes, but it was a good, kind, exchange back and forth, and there was no hard feelings against each other. And I think that's what we're losing today, because the technology we have, if I don't agree with you, and a lot of these people, they get very, I don't know how to, I guess, offended
Well,
by it.
they are used to a world where you can just give a thumbs down if you disagree.
Right,
You
right,
know,
exactly. Oh, here you go, thumbs
yeah,
down, you're
yeah,
done.
thumbs down, and that just don't work in real life, right? You just can't say, "Oh, you're an idiot." I don't
Right,
like what you're saying.
right. I mean,
You don't do it like that in real life, you know.
Well,
how many
well, you
of the
can.
past
I
few
think you can.
months?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
go
think you
ahead.
can.
can, you can,
I
but
think it's what people do when they say, um, when they say, so you also believe the news is fake. When you say yes, then it's okay. You know, that's my thumbs down. Now I will not take you serious anymore. You know, so it
yeah,
happens in real
Right.
life too.
it does.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's the indoctrination, so many people. I mean, I remember back in the 70s when I went to school, that's who they told us. They told us to look up to the police officers and trust your doctor and listen to the news, because the news is telling you what's going on in the world, even though you can see what the news is saying, and then look outside your door and it's like the two don't fit.
Yeah.
And you take back in the 70s when we would not listen to the news or listen to the authority that we were supposed to. I mean, the schools really attacked us back then.
Yeah.
The same way they do today. It's because how dare you not allow us to indoctrinate you? And that's where they had such a problem with me. So, but when you look at what happened when I went to school and then come into the 90s, and what did they do? They put a disorder to it. Oh, you're all attention deficit disorder. So here, we'll give you all these drugs to make you good little drones so you listen to us. Back in the day, they just called us the class
But
clown.
don't you worry, we're gonna get you back on track.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We'll get you back to listen. One way or another, you're going to listen.
Yeah.
And it's craziness. It truly is. And with what we're seeing today, it's heart-wrenching. It really is. That your opinion, your wrong think is not allowed, and it's crazy. And I think the biggest thing is shaming people. People don't want to be shamed. I mean, back in the day, if you had 5 friends, you were doing good. But why is it today people want to be liked by millions of people that they don't even know?
Yeah.
Because
I don't even have 5 friends to this date,
right, and that's the way it is. And the funny thing is the best friends in this world that I have, the 3 or 4 that I have, are people that I met online doing my podcast.
I know.
And they've traveled here. They know I can't travel anymore. They won't let me fly because my lungs won't allow it. And they have literally traveled here to spend a few days here to meet me in person. And we've done things, and we hang out for a few days and stuff. And that's it. We still communicate online. We have a lot of talks and everything else, but we can see what's happening. Like, look at the countries right here represented where you guys are.
Yeah.
And I'm in America, Denmark, Finland. Here we are.
Yeah.
And this is how we can communicate around. But this is what scares them.
Yeah.
See, a lot.
We can actually verify for each other what's going on the other side of the world, because they want to sell this narrative. I get a lot of nonsense that don't operate with what I'm getting from you guys online. I see a lot of news that doesn't resemble the truth. So they don't want us to sit here and talk. They want us cut off. They want to make it this
right. And that's it. And it is a shame because, you were talking the movies, and I know the Demolition Man and stuff, but the best movie that I always watched that told a very telling story was the old one, The Warriors, about the gangs in New York.
Oh,
yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
And when you look at the power of suggestion, and that's what it was. One guy told it was the Warriors. The Warriors did it. Yeah. And then that power of suggestion was multiplied through radio and different gangs. And so that's exactly how they do it to us today in society. And that's why the wrong thing, like I put in the chat room when I first started watching here, it doesn't matter the amount of views you get, because the amount of views that they're showing you is not the amount of views you're getting.
Probably not.
You're getting a lot more. Now, what it is they don't want that one comment. If somebody puts a comment, like Ken had said that he put a comment and boom, it was stripped right out. Because one person seeing it leads to 2 people seeing it, then 4 people seeing it, and so on and so on. And that's what scares them. Because the American Revolution, the biggest reason was, well, why are they so scared of pubs and restaurants and church? Because the American Revolution was planned and people communicated through their homes, the church, and establishments where they could all meet, and
And
that's where they planned it all.
and isn't it funny? That's also the places where you're not looking at your phone or the TV.
Exactly, exactly. And that's why, you know how many people still bug me today? What I have is what they call a track phone. It's a burner phone. A lot of drug dealers and stuff like that. You know, you get X number of minutes, you get done with it, and you throw it away. They can't track you, they can't nothing. But now I have one, and I have it for emergencies because I am alone a lot during the day. And if I'm outside and something happens and I need to call an ambulance, I need to be able to get help immediately, because I mean, it is, for me, it's life or death at that point.
Yeah.
But that's all I have. And it's like, no, I don't want, there's no reason for me to spend all day going like this. I'm fighting a revolution.
Oh no, that was a Pokemon.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh, well, that's
Also,
funny.
I
Oh,
see grown-ups in the train. I saw just the other week. I saw a grown-up in the train with a bicycle. You know, she had a big electrical bicycle with a stand on the steering wheel. You know, with the phone on it. And when she
yeah.
was ready to get out of the train, she didn't know I was watching her. I was standing next to the door. There was Pokemon on the screen.
What the
Right.
fuck? Oh
Yeah,
man.
a
Oh, that
Oh,
grown
that's
woman.
serious.
She was like 40 or 50. You know,
when
she was
that
driving
started,
around on her bike and picking up Pokemons.
yeah. When that started a couple of years ago, what people didn't realize when they were trying to find their Pokemon around town,
Yeah.
they were setting off business alarms. Well, I listened to the
Okay.
scanner here, and it's driving the cops nuts because they're running over here, and it's like, it's just a guy playing Pokemon,
It's
and then
just
he'd go and he'd go to another call.
programmed for
Oh,
Pokemon. It was designed to get like a fine um, a photo file of the whole grid, so to say, right? So that you can
Yeah,
actually, that's actually what it's made for. You know,
yeah,
right,
because
that's
you
what
turn
it's
on your
done.
camera every time you wanted to catch one of those, right?
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
and you
So
had to go to a certain point to grab it. And I told my son, I said, if a bunch of teenagers start showing up here because there's one hiding in my backyard, he's safe because they're not getting on my property.
yeah,
He would just laugh. But yeah,
yeah.
and
I was just waiting for hearing about people getting shot because of Pokemons.
yeah, so was I. So was I. But but to the kids today, and yeah, like you said, even some of these adults, that's reality.
crazy.
That's reality. And it's like, are you serious? Do you understand they already have your face and everything logged in to facial recognition? Oh no, they don't. I never adhered to it. I says, you look at your screen 14 hours a day.
Yeah,
Right.
What do you think? It's just like us sitting right here. They're logging it right in and say, oh, look at these fools. We're getting them. We're getting them. It's like,
yeah.
go ahead,
But you
you
think the
know?
news is fake too? Then?
Oh, yes. Fake news, fake news, fake news. Well, I told people that the biggest slack that I used to get, because everyone said, oh, you have to watch Fox News. You have to watch Fox News. You're getting the truth. I says, no. The other networks create a fake narrative.
Yeah.
Fox News is there to legitimize it by talking about it.
Yeah, by being the minus, the negative side of it,
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
They're playing devil's advocate. So once you get that going, then that's the narrative that they want to create, is that, oh, you don't believe in the truth. Well, yeah, I do believe in the truth, and I'm not getting it from TV.
No,
It's like
truth
with
is
the
not
cops.
something to believe in. You don't believe in the truth, no way. You know the truth.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Because it's the same thing as like, oh, you science deniers. What do you mean? I'm not
Yeah,
the one trying to say there's 78 genders.
but it's just like the good and the bad cop trying to get what do you call it?
Yeah.
The confession.
The confession, yeah. They're trying to
Right.
get the confession. They get the confession they want, so they play the good cop and the bad cop, because that's what
Right.
it does. You have the bad cop setting the narrative of what he wants you to confess to, and then you have the good cop just trying to make you do it, in a kind and polite way.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. And the thing is the sad thing is it works.
It does.
It works. It's crazy. It's like I can't believe it. But the reality of today, we've lost reality today. We really have. People,
What is
you know,
reality?
like when
But
I
that,
was
that I think that is the
yeah,
thing that is that's frustrating us, right? I mean, besides
right.
truth, I mean, you cannot have an intelligent conversation. You cannot have an intelligent answer. I mean, it's bullshit. That's why we go here. That's why we meet here, right?
Yeah.
Right. It was like yesterday. I had finished burning up. I have a lot of trees on my property, so they branches break off and everything. And I have a burn pit out back. And I was finishing that up yesterday, and the wife brings the puppy out, and she goes, "What were you looking at?" And I said, "Nature." As I'm looking up the big pine tree there, and there's a woodpecker up there pecking on the branches, and
Don't you
I
have a
was
nature
looking
channel where you at?
right, you know, and I was looking around at different things like that. I said, "That's reality.
Yeah,
It's
listening.
right there.
Listening
It's
is
right
a
before my
virtue too.
eyes." Right. It's right before my eyes. I don't have to sit down and watch some TV or something to get reality because
No.
I can step outside and see it for myself. That's that's nature. Nature is there. That is the creation. That's what God gave us. I
Yeah.
look at that and I wonder, my amazement comes from that. I where I live, it's all woods, and this state is nothing but trees everywhere, and the majority, like I said, 90% of the state of Maine is nothing but wilderness. But that's where I was born and raised. I was born and raised in it, so I'm at home in it. You take me out of Maine, you dump me in some city somewhere, and I'm going to hate it. Concrete and steel is just not my thing. It's wilderness. I can
Yeah,
take
I'm the same way.
anybody. I can
I'm the
take
same.
anybody into the woods. I can take them 5 feet off a road, blindfold them, spin them in a circle, take the blindfold off, and they wouldn't be able to find their way back to the road
No.
5 feet away.
And have you noticed you can have better conversation with the squirrels and the birds?
I do. Well, if you look at my channel, Brian, you will see how I am with animals. I've got videos on there where I'm feeding a squirrel. An orphan squirrel. I was like its mother, and I would hide food around the yard, and I taught the little squirrel how to go find it, knowing that at some point you're going to have to go back to nature. And once he learned how to do that, and he still comes around. He comes around, and I know it's him because he comes partway down the tree, and he'll look at me. And I've got chipmunks that I've fed and feed right out of my hand. I can set 5 feet from the bird feeder, and the birds will come right around, fly over my head. They couldn't care less that I'm sitting there. But I've always been that way with wildlife. I've never harmed them. I am a hunter. I do hunt for my food. But yeah, I've always, me and wildlife, we get along real good. I guess the animal in me. We're just all animals. And that's nature. That's me. That's what I've always been. So,
Yeah,
but that's my reality.
I love nature as well.
Cool.
I go there as often as I can.
Yeah.
And yet I don't go there as often as I want to. So I used to live in the forest. I've been on trips around the world where I've been in forest for like well, 3 weeks at a time without seeing a human being, you know. So I've been in Canada as well. I've driven from Toronto to British Columbia on a bike. So
Wow.
so
Yeah.
I've seen that shit too. And that's amazing. I want to go there someday as again with my kids. So yeah. You know what the most impressive sight I've ever seen was in Canada. I was sitting not at the top of the mountain, but pretty much pretty low. I had a good view of the valley at
Mhm.
fall time, and that's the prettiest thing I've ever seen in my life. You just have every color in the world just gathered up in one valley, and that was amazing.
Yeah, that's where I got some pictures and stuff of when the leaves and all started changing here. When I was running the fire tower on top of the mountain, you know, a lot of people used to ask me, they said, well, what's it look like? Well, in the summertime, it looks like a very wrinkled green carpet. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
The hills and the mountains and and that's, you know, I looked out across all of southern Maine, but in the fall time when it all started to change colors, now that was something to see. You know,
yeah,
I'm up there on the top of the mountain in the lookout tower, so I could see 80 miles right around me and right into the mountains of New Hampshire, and just the colors and, you know, but that was, it's so peaceful. It's me. It was just me, a radio listening to 18 different fire stations and police forces around all of southern Maine, and the animals. Like I always
yeah.
knew where the turkeys were because I'd see the turkey vultures up there circling over a certain area. And it's like, well, that's where the turkeys are. And yeah, the animals. And the only time I did get nervous, they wouldn't allow me to bring a firearm with me. And when I hiked up one morning, I could see where the deer had been walking along, and then I could see a whole pack of coyotes. And it's like, these things are hungry, man. And they won't even let me bring a firearm up here. And that sucks because if them things get hungry, I can't outrun a bunch of coyotes, you know? So but you know, that's how it was. And that's why, you know, a lot of people, they say, well, you know, guns, we hate guns. I say, if you were brought up in Maine like I was, you grow up with a gun in your hand, because you go out in the wilderness around here and you won't make it out alive if you think you can tackle the wildlife here in Maine. You're just not going to make it.
No,
What are you gonna
And
bring us? Yes.
right, right. Oh, I'll just
uh,
scream at it and tell it to leave me alone. A
look at this.
400.
Look at this, guys. This is what we got now. Look at this guy. That's a full-blown air protection he's walking around with. He has the motor and everything on the back.
Wow.
let's
Oh,
let's look at that again. They're laughing because I'm filming. I've been filming him for like 3 minutes. I'm just walking right next to him.
you couldn't help yourself. Oh, wow,
I
man,
couldn't help
that's
myself. No, and that's
so.
his wife next to him. He's actually walking 6 feet apart. It's hilarious.
Oh
Oh,
man.
wow.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to share that.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I know. I always they would have stopped me here when before I was getting the infusions at home. I had to go to a clinic and have it done, and I used to sit there and count the people all alone in their vehicle wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And I wanted to start filming them, but the way it is, the way the law is in Maine, if they were to see me with my camera driving, they would call it there was something, but they'd be able to stop me and harass me because I'm not paying attention. Distractive driving, that's what it is. even though I'd be telling them, well, I got to film the sheeple because somebody left the gate open and they got out, so I could show the owner where his sheep
Yeah.
are.
I need to stop the nonsense. It's distractive.
Right. And it is. It's so crazy that the people today, and you know the ones that believe the narrative when you walk into a place without a mask and the looks you get.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
now
just
I see something that's even worse. You know, I
Right.
saw something the other day was even worse because now the masks are all it's gone from our everyday life in Copenhagen. You know, and the other day I saw it was on my way home from work at rush hour. It was all cramped up. You had like 100 people too much in each carriage, you know, because there was some trains that was out of order, and all of a sudden there was this train just carrying everybody, you know. And there was one guy standing in the middle of the train with 150 people or something like that, you know, with a mask on. One guy. One guy.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
What makes this guy wear a mask? You know, I wanted to ask him, but it was not the right forum. I couldn't even move back and forth in there, you know. But he was standing, you know, crammed up between all the other people like this, and he had a mask on between 150 people. What makes this man wear a mask? Who is he
It's
saving? What do he
perception.
think?
Fear
Fear
Yeah. Yeah.
of what?
Yeah. I think yeah.
of
If
something that don't
if he was
exist.
truly afraid, he wouldn't get on that train, you know.
Well, the
It's
worst
just
look I
stupid.
got one time when I said fear. You're living in fear. What do you mean? You're in fear of something that don't exist.
Yeah.
Like what? I said, Satan? Huh? Satan don't exist. Right. Because you fear it. So it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So what are you saying? I'm saying Satan's greatest triumph over man was convincing them he don't exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it blows their mind because I talk right in a circle, and they come back and they don't understand. It's that they're living their life in fear, and that's why they've gotten a hold of the people, is because the people have put government at the top of their life.
Yeah.
There's nothing higher. There's no higher power than that of government or their leaders. So that's where their deception comes in, and that's where their fear comes in, because the only way that person stays in power and that person has authority over you is if you give it to them. And if you fear what they can do to you. Today, a lot of people today are just complying because they fear what is going to happen if they don't. Oh, well, they're going to take this from me. They're going to take that from me. They're going to do this to me. They're going to do that to me. And they don't understand it's happening anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
or they don't do it at all because they've
I
been
was in that
threatening me
position.
for 18 months. They've been threatening me with all kinds of stuff, you know. And I
Right.
just said no, and then they just wait 6 weeks and they threaten me again, and they keep doing that. They're not doing anything, you know. Then if they
Right.
were actually if that actually was real threats, something would happen by now, you know. But it doesn't,
Right.
you know.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
When I'm pummeled in that position, like, listen, this is going to happen to you if you don't do that. I'm the guy that says, okay, bring it on. You know, it's just you.
Right.
It's just you telling me this, and you're not going to bring this. What you tell me. There's no
Yeah.
law, you know, that provides backup for what you're saying. I mean, you're just trying to control me. So if that's what you're warning me for, bring it on,
Mm.
dude. You know, and that also
Right.
always that conversation
Yeah.
ends in nothing.
I had a good incident with that. I had the cops call on me. That was early in the mask requirements here. I had a store on a customer's request call the cops on me. to remove me from the store. They asked me politely, the staff, if I would leave the store, and I said no. And then they said they have to call the cops. Very politely, they did it politely, but they called the cops on me. And when the cops came, I had a long argument. No, I wouldn't call it, discussion with this officer, and he actually let me finish my groceries and let me pay for my groceries and let me go on with my day. He didn't arrest me. He didn't move me by force or anything like that. So
That's pretty
yeah.
decent for a cop.
Right. That's good.
Nothing happened. The only thing that happened was me saying no.
You're right. Right.
And I wasn't a dick. I did it politely. If they were fronting me, I would be a dick. I'm that guy too. But I'll try to do it the easy way. And I wanted to show the people. I wanted to show the woman that called the cops on me that you can do what I do. It's okay. It's a choice. It's your choice. You're choosing to follow the narrative. I choose something else, and both things is okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. See, what a lot of these people count on is that, number one, you're just going to comply. And what the cops are looking at is they're hoping that you don't know the law.
Yeah.
Now, I've backed off many totalitarian cops by just explaining the law to them.
Yeah.
Like you said, in a nice, polite way. Well, the law reads this, and you boom, boom, boom. Here's the statute. This is the law. This is the way it reads. And do you really want to go through all of this paperwork and then possibly a lawsuit for wrongful prosecution and wrongful arrest? Because then you start reading, and they'll leave. And they'll
we're
just
actually pretty lucky in Denmark because the cops here actually do want to follow the law. I've seen other places where they don't follow the law and don't even care about the law, But in Denmark, we're actually pretty lucky. If I can put up the narrative of the law, they will actually consider what I'm saying, and they will look into it if they don't know it,
Right.
So they're pretty nice here.
I would say here in America, we're probably 50-50.
Yeah.
You have the cops that have been around for quite a while. They adhere right to the law, the Constitution, and everything else. But it's these newer ones that they're getting that they'll do whatever their master tells them because they have authority over people, and that's what they get off on. That's what they love. They love having that authority over people and to be able to push people around.
Yeah, but the guidelines they get from above, that's gospel, that's the new Wikipedia, that's the new I'mRight.com, that's the officers above it,
Yeah, Wikipedia. Ain't that a joke? But and that's it. That's what people do. They bow down to the wrong authority. You try to tell people you have the authority to say no. Oh, I can't. What do you mean? 5 years from now, you're not. If you look at what their words are, I mean, look at the World Economic Forum. By 2030, you will own nothing and like it. What part of that do you not understand?
Klaus Schwab, he's amazing. That is a character. He's like a villain taken out of a James Bond movie.
He is. He is.
All these characters, I don't know how it is in Denmark. I don't know the faces of your ministers or your prime minister. But look at this Kerry Chant in Australia, this Jacinda Ardern, this Dan. What's all these? They all
Dan
look
Andrews.
They all look so stupid and so
and
so
Boris
blunt
Johnson
and so evil.
Boris
I mean, it's all out of the cartoon.
Yeah.
Everything is cartoon.
In Denmark, we have a lady. I call her the Helga House of Pain. She just looks like a Nazi woman.
Same here. Yeah. Same here. There's this woman who's going to be MP soon, and she looks like a witch. She even has eyebrows that are just like 90 degrees. Just 90 degrees, just constantly, and she's not even angry. It's just her normal wank eyebrows are just like this.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah,
and that's
it's
oh, you see it right here. You know, I love it the most of all these politicians we have in America, because you don't just have the federal government, then you have all the politicians down on the state level, then all the politicians in your county level, and then your town level. And it's so funny. It's like, what part don't you understand that, well, he's a Republican, that's why we need him there in the state government. I says, yeah, but he's fighting for teachers unions because he's a retired teacher, and he's only in Augusta to protect his own pension that you pay for. And they're dumbfounded at that point. They don't know what to say. I was like, when has he done anything that benefits you? The only thing you keep complaining about is your property taxes are going up and up and up and up and up. But who's raising your property tax? The school system. And who's in Augusta fighting to do it? The very guy you're backing.
But look at all these people. You know, you have Bozo the Clown, and you have them from Australia. You have, you know, you have all these people. Do you know
Biden,
what they have in
how come
common?
I didn't mention him?
Do
Trump.
you know what
I
all
mean,
these people have in common?
A lack of education.
None of them can smile.
Yeah.
You never see these people. You never see Joe Biden, Boris the Clown, or any of these people smile.
right?
No. Because they hate you. They literally hate you.
They're little
Yeah.
fucking robots. You know, no
Right.
emotions, no
mean, for
empathy, no nothing. You know,
That's what I learned from the
clone, drone.
the town government here when I was part of it. And that's why they hated me so. Once they appointed me, it was too late. They already made the mistake. And they knew that. But you appointed me. And now it's too late because you can't just throw me out. But what I learned is they hate you. They don't like you because if they say jump and you say no, I'm not gonna jump, that's what pisses them off.
Yeah.
And it's like they know that people aren't going to listen to them, and people won't
Hey,
listen
you're
to them.
supposed to say how high.
Right. Oh yeah, exactly.
You don't know the game?
Right. And that was it. Because when it comes time for their re-election, oh, they're your best buddy. And I always try to tell them, I said, do you understand, if a politician's talking to me, he's telling me what he thinks I want to hear. And then when he steps over there to you, he's telling you exactly what you want to hear. And then the next person, he's telling them exactly what they want to hear.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is none of it is the same. None of it.
No.
It's all a lie.
That's why you see these politicians goes. You know, Trump was a master of that. You know, he was just playing both sides all the way. You know, in every single little aspect. You know, he was just playing both sides. You know, he was for the extremist. He was against the extremist. You know, all that. All the way he played both sides. You know, on foreign relation he did it. You know, as a. He was for Israel. He was against Israel. You know,
right.
He always
look right now. He just had another one of his rallies a couple weeks ago, and I tried to tell people, who is pushing the poke?
Yeah.
They listened to it and went, "Wow!" I said, "I told you."
Yeah.
It was all a setup. They needed to see who was going to comply and who was not. Once they saw 80 to 90 million American people were not going to comply, now these are the people we have to destroy.
Yeah.
And that's what they've been doing since January. We're all terrorists. We're all criminals. They go out of their way to destroy us. But a lot of people that are having buyer's remorse right now are the people that are watching their loved ones die.
Yeah.
And you know why they're dying. And we know why they're dying. And we know what's going on. And they don't know what to do. They don't. And it's like, well, hey, You played Russian roulette and you got the chamber that was full.
So everybody's
What else?
falling dead around the world. Is that just a coincidence too?
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course it is, and
No, it's not a
it's
coincidence. It's not COVID. It's the flu. The flu has been gone for a year. It was on holiday for the first
No, it's
time in
back.
history.
It's
Flu
back.
was on
Yeah.
holiday, and now it's back with a vengeance. Okay.
Yeah.
That's-
right.
You know what they're pushing now? They're pushing normal vaccination of the normal flu now down to kids of 2 years of age.
Yeah.
They are making nasal sprays for kids under 2 years of age with the vaccine now in Denmark.
Oh yeah, and they're working on pills.
Yeah. The
And-
COVID pills. Yeah, I saw
Right.
that.
And what I laughed at the most is that America finally up and they had to ban the Moderna medical device for kids 15 and up, or to like 15 to 19, and then turn around and they're pushing it in Australia.
Yeah.
It's like, what, and people still don't understand. This is what the whole goal is. The whole goal is one global cabal, period. We are going to run everything. And yes, sorry, but 90% of you got to go. You just got to go. We're not going to deal with you. We can't control you. We're not going to
If
feed
you don't serve a purpose, you have to go.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
it's not. But no way, it's not even 90%. It's just 100%. 90% is just more. It's more feasible. It's more applicable to society because everybody thinks they will be in the last 10%. Of course, everybody does think that they will survive it, right? And,
Right.
But the end game is just everybody gone. I mean,
Well, they do need
what-
they do need a handful to, these. Do you think Bill Gates is going to cook his own hamburger? No, he's going to have a slave for that.
No, but they're gonna, as long as you are able to build the robot for them, and you haven't
Right.
invented it yet, you still have a purpose. But once you have invented that thing you are set to do in this life, you no longer need it.
Exactly.
When you have invented your own a robot that can take your own job, then you have succeeded
Well,
yourself.
So
It's funny
now
'cause
that you're talking about robots, I've been thinking about all these ships that lie before the harbor that cannot dock. How about those ships being loaded with robots?
right.
Have you thought about that scenario? Because all the
No.
police is being defunded and they
Well-
don't want to take the jab. Same goes for the government officials and the firemen. So they're gonna
Well,
need to
what it
replace
is-
these.
Yeah.
Well, what it is in America is that we have a Second Amendment, and it's a very scary thing for them because when they look at the numbers of the Second Amendment within the hands of the people, so instead of the totalitarianism, they're going to starve us out. I mean, right here, I'm on the other side of the country from California, where all this stuff is setting on, out there on the container ships, and people are saying here, well, yeah, we can't get that because it's stuck in California. And it's like, no, it's not stuck in California. It's stuck on the ocean rotting.
You know what? The only thing that can destroy free will is hunger.
Right. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
that's what they're going to play, That is the next thing that's coming, I've been saying that for a long time because if you just go back,
Right.
you had the Spanish flu back in 1917, and right after that, you had the Great Depression, and that's going to come as well here, That's the next play. They're going to play the famine card after this, where there's
Right.
not enough food for everybody. So
Right. And that's what they're doing here now. And the supplies that were on hand are dwindling, and they're not allowing anything to be replenished. And so, yeah, they understand starvation is coming. There's going to be a lot of us that have planned ahead.
Mm.
and they don't, all big deal. But what they're looking at, when you take something like New York City with 15 million people in the suburbs and around the area and everything else, and these people can't go to the local store to eat, it's
Yeah.
going to be chaos.
But
It's going,
they don't care about you. You know, they
no,
don't care about me. They don't care about us that's stacking food on our, because they know when shit hits the fan, you know, that
right.
everybody else, all the hungry people out there is gonna come for your shit, you know.
Oh, yeah, yeah, exactly.
So
And yeah,
that's what they're counting on, you know. So they don't care about the preppers because they know when the shit hits the fan, you know, we're gonna be in the same boat as everybody else, you know.
right. Because
So
when everything's gone within, you take even right here in Maine, the larger cities, when everything's been depleted there and 2/3 of the population has already been murdered, what's left will be hitting the rural areas, just like you said. They're going to come to that house where they see the wood stove is going, knowing that there's heat.
yeah.
And these people are living, so that means we're coming for what you have.
Mm.
And
You're
it's,
right.
yep,
And you're right about that because people are willing to kill each other for food. But then again, there's this other side in human beings, right? It says, dude, I know we're all having a hard time. You can come in. I will share my food with you, but just don't kill us. Okay? And I will give you something
right,
because that's also the human spirit, right? We're gonna
right,
work this out together, guys. You know,
Yeah,
yeah,
that is
I see.
actually the human spirit that survived all these wars, right?
I see
We
where you're
we we
coming from,
actually help each other out. That's
but
what
I
we
have
do.
actually I've been on survival courses where I've been in situations with very hungry people, and I'm sorry to say that the experiences I had there is mind-boggling. When people get
right,
hungry, they just change. They really do.
right. What
Even
I've,
I've even been in a narrative where I've been on a snowy place in Norway with four of my buddies, you know, and we were supposed to see how long we could last up there. And when you get hungry, even your best friends is gonna look at you weird, you know.
oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
So yeah, I believe in human nature too, and yes, we should always try that possibility. But I would be on the lookout because I've seen what it can do,
Of
Well,
what
course.
it can do to
that's
people.
why,
Yeah.
a
But
lot of people, they get, yep,
I'm not saying it's like this or like that. Like you're
Yeah,
saying, it's two sided. Yeah.
yeah. The
right. It
only thing
is.
I've ever seen that could conquer human spirit is hunger.
Right. And that's why I know a lot of people, they get thrown off when they hear of tribalism.
Mm,
Well, when you look at, half of my ancestry, which was indigenous Americans, or, we were Indians back then. It's, we weren't Americans because it wasn't America yet. But when you look at that kind of living, how everybody worked to sustain themselves. And yes, there were a set of boundaries because the area that they controlled, that's what fed the tribe. And so if you're looking at what's going on today, you need to go back to a form of tribalism so that everybody within your community and your group are there to provide for each other, protect each other, and survive with each other.
yeah,
And you're going to have to be careful of, just like what Rebel just said, there are going to be people, they don't care. I'm not going to come there and get, you know, 2 cans of canned good. I'm going to come there and kill you and take everything you have.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
And that, sadly, that is the
yeah.
reality that we
And
have to
those
look
people
at,
are
because
gonna take that hand you're offering them just to so they can, yeah, they're
oh
gonna,
yes.
yeah. I have seen it,
Hmm.
I saw it. I lived with poor people. That was a different narrative. This is not a survival situation, but I have been living with poor people when I was driving around Europe and when I was in Jersey as well. Uh, I lived in Jersey. I lived under viaducts and freeways and stuff like that, where there were other homeless people and stuff like that. And those people were the nicest guy until your bag was missing. You know, they
Right.
really was. You know,
Right.
and that's what that's what you're up against. You can't. Those people are so hungry that you can't tell. They are so good at what they're doing that because their focus is dialed in on taking your stuff that you're not able, no longer able to notice. You know.
Right. They're like a politician. They're
Yeah.
all nice and sweet, and but you vote them in, and that's the end. Then their
Yeah,
true
but I
colors
got their
show.
number. You know.
Right. You know, and that's it. It's like there's this little joke. I guess it's a joke. Um, what it is it starts of you are judged in the end of how you were in life. Your judgment of where you go is how you were in life. So this politician, he passes away, and when he gets to the judgment seat, he said, "Okay, you're going to get to make a choice. You're going to have to spend 24 hours in hell, and then you can spend 24 hours in heaven. And after the 48 hours, you will make your choice of where you want to go." So they said, "Where would you want to go first?" And he says, "Well," he says, "I might as well get it over. Let's go down and see how hell is." So off he goes, and he gets down there, and oh, there's a blue sky, and there's clouds and birds, and oh, the people are all well dressed, and they're all playing golf, and they're enjoying themselves, and all of his friends are there, and oh, he says, "This is great." And he goes back and he says, "Okay, now you got your 24 hours in heaven." Oh, how nice. The weather is perfect. You lay around all day on clouds, and you just relax, and your food comes to you, and oh wow, what a nice relaxing life. So
Yes,
the
boys.
the 24 hours are up. So now, okay, the 48 hours are done. Now you must make your choice. Well, heaven was very nice. It was great. But all my friends are down in hell, and I miss them, so I guess I'll go down to hell. Done. He gets down there, and oh, there's garbage dumping from the sky, and everybody's skin is half rotted, and their clothes, and there's stink everywhere, and there's feces, and what happened? Well, yesterday we were campaigning. Today you made your choice.
I love that one. I'm not going to forget
Done.
that one. That's a good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And that's how it is, and but that's our life. And that's why I've always talked about, and I know it's on my YouTube, but you go back through, and it's called free will.
Oh
And
no.
and
I,
I done
people don't
four
want that.
series. Yeah, I done four videos on it, on free will, and I came up through um, all the years of the different things that went on, and different things that happened, of how people's free will is what ended up either good or bad. And but that's it, free will. Oh no, we are not to have free will today, because our free will is you listen to us freely, and your will is what we give you.
Yeah, but
You're
the
free
problem
to
is
do as we tell you.
no,
Right.
nobody actually wants free will. They want to have a choice between the narratives that's put in front of them. They want a big palette of colors, and they want to choose their colors. But if you
Right.
take that away and ask them to choose any color,
Right. And
that's
yeah,
the
I
problem.
noticed that was part of the indoctrination of the youth and everything, is they don't understand the satisfaction of doing something for yourself, and here you work towards this, and here's the result of your hard work. Today
Yeah.
it's like, no, I'm going to I want that person that's going to just give it to me. It's not got, I don't have to work for it. Why should I have to work for it?
Yeah.
They want it given to them. And they don't understand that in order for you to get something for free, the government had to take it from someone else.
Yeah. And the way that's gonna give that to you, even if they're gonna give you something that you don't want, they're just gonna create another thing that you do want,
Exactly.
and then you
Right.
take that, and then they'll tell you that that is bad, and the only thing you can do about it is, well, change it with the other
Right.
stuff.
And right. And that's where that's where they attack. I mean, look at what TV has done for years. The biggest show that I used to laugh at, Life of the Rich and Famous.
Yeah.
Where they used to sit there and cause jealousy in the people that hung on, oh, well, look at his yacht and look at his mansion and look at his cars. And who cares? Because when the guy dies, he can't take it with him.
No.
I mean, it's like a guy that had passed away here last year, or just this January from lung cancer. But he always used to tell the people on his videos, stuff like that. He says, do you think that when you're going to heaven, you're dragging a U-Haul? You can't take it with you.
No.
And that's it. People don't realize that you can't take it with you. Even if you're going to hell.
People don't even think about dying. They put
No.
that thing way under the couch. You can actually point that thing at people, and they don't want to see it. They don't
Right.
want to discuss that they're about to leave this life that they have fought 50 years to accomplish.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's it's hard for a lot of people to comprehend. Someone like me, how I can be in such good spirits and everything else. I was handed a death sentence a few years back, and I know that it is, and I know that there's nothing they can do to stop it. So it's like, how can you be in such good spirits when you know you're going to die before your time? And I said, well, who says it's before my time? You say it's before my time. God doesn't. God knows when he's going to take me. But
Yeah.
that's
it's
just how it
already-
is.
And it's already not such a nice thing to look forward to. But, does it have to make me sad every day too? I mean, right? Isn't that one
Right.
of the... It's like...
Right. And I've learned to accept it. It's like when I went to my pulmonologist, which is the lung doctor here last week and stuff. But he's pretty good, and he knows that I'm not going to do what they want me to do. And he was just kind of convincing me that, it's for religious reasons, right? And he's trying to tell me that, just agree with this because, well, this little device over here is listening to us,
Right.
without saying it. And I was good. And finally, when he stopped trying to convince me is when I looked right at him and I said, look, I have made my peace with God a long time ago. Boom.
Yeah.
Done.
I'm still
And that's
trying to
where it
meet
is. Right. That's what I thrive for.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think what people have to understand, when your last chapter is opened up and showed to you, your character is how you will spend
gonna
those
solidify.
last. Right. It's how will you spend your last days. Period.
Yeah, and how are the world perceiving you when you are gone?
How
Right.
will you be remembered? Right? Yeah. How do you want yourself to be remembered?
Yeah,
Right.
because
You know,
many
and
people, if they died today, they would. Who are they? They
Exactly.
they are indoctrinated in the same level as everybody else. They are
Mhm.
going to the same schools,
Well-
the same education. And
A
now
lot of
they're
their
just
answers.
the
a
only
lot of-
thing they have to their name is their name. Everything else
No, the
is,
only-
is
Well, usually they will say like it was Jan Janssen, and he was an administrator, and he did a good job. I mean,
yeah.
usually
But
it's
that's not
just
who
that.
they are. That's who they were
That's what they
told to
did,
be.
right? Yeah.
Right.
That's them choosing their own fruit from the tree that was put in front of them. That's not them. That's not them as a person. It's just them made a choice from the narratives
You know,
that were put in front of them.
actually, I've been thinking about this scenario that you just painted, right? What if I die? What if I die?
Yeah.
I've left all my friends and family 4 or 5 years ago. Okay,
Hmm.
so who the fuck's gonna know me? What, my
They all
mother?
know
She
you.
doesn't know me. She's a normie. She's a steeple. She doesn't know me. The only people that's gonna know me, they live on YouTube, and I don't want them to be on my funeral or anything. But it's
I
something
think,
that I thought about. Like, who knows
yeah,
who I am these days? Who knows what I did? What I
I
do?
know who you are.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
But that's
Right.
exactly what I'm pointing out, right?
yeah. But do you think
It's a
what
weird situation.
when we're sitting here, if we say you die tomorrow, I will sit sometimes next year and I will sit here and have a conversation with Norway and the other guys, and I remember something that I heard from you a
Yeah.
year ago, because you were a person, you were a real person. You were not just Paul the engineer or Carsten the doctor or something like that. You were a real person that I could relate to, and I respected, and I heard what you had to say. And at some point down the line, I will remember something you said. There's a bigger chance of being remembered by stepping away and being your own than being just like everybody else. Nobody wants to remember something they can just. If I had a friend like that and I lost him, I'd just go get another one. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
you want something special. So I
Well,
think there's a
it's
bigger chance of being remembered by being yourself. And yeah,
I've always found it best just to be, this is who I am, take me or leave me.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that's it.
Yeah,
You know,
and that is
I
something.
I'll take it, no way. I'll take it.
because I could never be fake. I could never be somebody that I wasn't, because once you're with a large group of people and you're fake, the second you miss being that fake, and you make a mistake and you're yourself, it all crashes down, because then they see through your facade. Once
Yeah.
they see through your facade, you're done.
Yeah.
And I think that's why my wife and I, we've been together for 30 years.
That is
And
what you're going to be remembered for.
and I think the reason, sure, we've had our good years and bad years, our ups, our downs, and everything else. But one thing that, I always told her, don't lead because I will not follow. Do not follow because I will not lead. Walk
Mm.
beside me as an equal, and we will get to our desired
Yeah.
end.
That is so true.
And that was it. And a lot of people, is just like, we happen to be walking on the same path, and we're each other's own best friend. We can
Yeah.
count on each other. And yes, after 30 years, we depend on each other, and even to the point of, we take advantage of each other. It's just the nature of the beast. It's the way it is. But we accept it. We accepted each other for our strengths and our faults.
Yeah.
And we overlooked the faults, and we deal with it.
I have two rules for my kids. There's only two rules that I expect them to follow. The first one is simple: always hold up your end when you're promising something.
Oh, yes.
That's the first one. If you promise something, you're gonna keep that promise.
That's what I've told my boys: be a man of your word.
Yeah. And the second one, that's correlate with a little what you say. I always tell my kids, do as daddy say, not as daddy do.
Yeah. and that's the hard thing. I learned really young. Like our oldest boy, he's into he works in a performance garage, so he's dealing with these cars with 700-800 horsepower cars, and he's got the big race car and everything else in the Volkswagen. And I said, no, don't look at my driving record back in the 80s and the 90s. Things have changed. They will not frown on you harder today than they did on me back then. You know, here's your $30 speeding fine, and well, you still haven't learned your lesson after 15 speeding tickets, so we're going to take your license for a couple weeks.
Oh, this is gonna blow your mind. You know what they're
Couple of
doing in
weeks.
Denmark now?
A couple of weeks. I mean, dude,
Do you know
it's
what
soft.
they're doing in Denmark?
What's that?
If you're speeding more than 120%, they're gonna take your car.
Oh yeah. Well, they'll do that. They'll do that today too. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What
they'll do it.
what they call it here is they write you up for, if you're going, say you go 120 miles an hour through a 25-mile-an-hour zone, they'll say it's 100 plus, and you get locked up for 6 months. They take your car, you get a $4,000 fine, and your license is gone until they decide you can go for it again.
Yeah.
Because they've had enough, and they are upset because the faster they make a cop car, the faster us gearheads make our sports cars.
Yeah, they took a Lamborghini just 2 weeks ago. It was all over the news. You know, there was one of the rich guys who got confiscated his Lamborghini. So they took it. The state now owns his car. His $3 million car. You know, not $3 million.
Oh yeah,
we 3 million crowns. That's about $500,000 or something like that.
The best thing to watch for here in the States, especially here in the state of Maine, in order to do it legally, like drug dealers and stuff like that, they like going out and buying brand new fancy cars. Well, when they go down, their house gets seized, their bank accounts get seized, and their vehicles get seized. And then twice a year, they have a public auction, and they have to notify the public that they're doing it. And you can go and you can pick up some very nice cars for very cheap.
Yeah,
very cheap.
Dude, I used to go to a school, to college, where the rich people went. Right, I was not one of them, and and this guy turns 18, and his father was like a Porsche car dealer, right? So he got his son a Lamborghini for his 18th birthday, right? So the guy comes to school in his Lamborghini for 2 days. Third day, the Lamborghini was crashed. It was the story of the week, of course, on school. You know?
Oh yeah.
So that was his first car, a Lamborghini. Second car was, I think, a Ferrari that lasted 2 weeks. I'm not even kidding you, guys. The third car was a Porsche that lasted a few months. The fourth car was a Golf GTI, you know, a Volkswagen Golf. You know, where everybody starts. You know, usually you start with a GTI, and then you might work your way up to a Porsche or a Lamborghini. You know, he was going backwards, like within 6 months. You know,
right?
But no, it actually happened in front of my eyes. I mean, it sounds like a fairy tale, but it actually happened in front of my eyes. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, I saw things that we had. You know, we all, where we grew up, and you know, like where I grew up, you always had your rich, influential people with their spoiled, rotten kids that usually inherited daddy's business. Well, there were these two guys that, they always had to do everything together, and they always loved to flaunt their money around and everything. Well, they go out. This was around the time of Smokey and the Bandit, so everybody everybody had to get their Trans Ams.
The best mustache in town.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But these two guys go out one afternoon, and they both get two identical Trans Ams, all sported up and everything else. Well, then they decide to go race that night. And one hits a pothole, bangs into the other guy. One goes one way upside down, the other one goes the other way upside down, and there's two brand new Trans Ams totaled. Done. Gone. And they're all busted up laying in the hospital. It's a miracle it didn't kill them.
We got a question from Mad Pie Man. Did he crash the Golf?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No.
No, my son just took off with his GTI this afternoon, and because he started it up yesterday. Well, around here this time of year, everybody loves their turbos and their souped up, engines, because the way the atmospheric conditions are this time of year, they can get more horsepower out of them. And I told him, I says, you blow another engine and I'm going to be pissed. There's $2,000 into that engine that I showed, and we rebuilt this summer because he blew the first one that was in it. I said, you blow this engine, you're on your own, dude. I said, but yeah, he started it up yesterday and was bummed because where the fuel rail goes into the sport regulator, the fuel regulator, the coupling in between it was pissing gas out. So he went to his shop last night and picked up a new coupling and everything else. We changed that over today. These cars, you can't have raw gas pissing out on top of your engine. So he took off this afternoon with it, and I said, you blow this other engine, dude. I'm not going to be happy. But it's his, it's his money and it's his deal. And we do have another spare engine, but crap, the time and the money we put into that GTI. But around here, yeah, in the States, you take a Lamborghini here, anybody would be foolish in the state of Maine to spend $120,000 for a Lamborghini that you can only run for 4 months out of the year.
Right. I mean, I don't know the state of Maine or the condition of the roads, but I can imagine
they're
being
bad.
worse than in Poland, right?
Yeah, they're
want to have a
bad here.
Lamborghini. Yeah, a Lamborghini rides fine in Germany. The roads in Germany are just awesome, and same goes for the Netherlands. Same goes for Denmark. But I think that USA roads are just like Polish roads.
Yeah, they're very bad.
Ride a Lamborghini in Amsterdam.
Because see, where we have winter and everything freezes, the frost here in the wintertime will go 3, 4, sometimes 5 feet into the ground, and it destroys the roads. So, and plus the curves, the way they build them and everything else, they don't care. It's just a big money. It's a money grab for them. Also we spent $20 million this year playing with the roads, and next year we'll have to do it again. Who cares? And it's just a ripoff. But yeah, to Maine weather, but how I always explain to everybody is you have 8 months of sledding, or 8 months of winter, and 4 months of poor sledding. Because it's the snow disappears somewhere around the end of April, beginning of May. And right now, at any given time, we could wake up in the morning and it's going to be snowing. And that snow is not going to disappear until somewhere around the end of April, beginning of May. Again. And that's just how it is. That's just how the weather is. If we get 90 degrees in the summer, us poor Mainers, it's like I'm dying. I can't. But yet then people see us like right now, we're out there, and you take somebody from Texas come up here and it's 50 degrees out. They're freezing to death, and we're out there in t-shirts having a grand old time. We're loving it. Hey, 50 degrees. Yeah, having a heat wave. Going to go swimming this afternoon.
Yeah.
I don't know how it sounds to you, Brian, but Maine sounds actually like little Russia in the USA.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And I want to go. I'm listening, and I want to go.
Maine is a beautiful state. It really is. Like I said, 90% of this state is wilderness. We are the heaviest wooded state in the whole nation. We have more, for our size, 90% of Maine is nothing but trees.
Have you considered that you already did and are in heaven now?
Well,
it sounds like heaven.
Yeah, but the devil's got a couple homes here.
that what you just described sounds where I want to go when I leave this place.
Well, it is. I mean, you know, the hunting and the fishing and the wilderness. I mean, I can, you know, right here behind I not even a mile away from the base of the mountain where I used to climb up 1,600 feet to man the fire tower. And once you get up there, it's like you see very few buildings at all. And all you see, as far as the eye can see, is trees, trees and trees and trees. You know, you could travel 300 miles and see nothing but trees. I could take you right into an area and you could go for 300 miles if you could find the dirt road to take you there, and it's nothing but trees, and that's all it is, wilderness. And that's how I was born and raised. I was born and raised right in the middle of the woods in a small town with 1,700 people, and I loved every minute of it. I could get up in the morning when I was a kid during summer vacation, walk down to a brook and spend all day. I could come home at noontime and cook up the trout that I caught in the morning, and everybody could have lunch at the house that was around there with all the trout that I caught in the morning, and then turn right around and go right back out in the afternoon and get another 12 trout.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then it come fall time, well, now let's go hunting. And that's how it is. That's how Maine is.
The fuck? Sorry. My Windows wants to install Windows 11. But
Oh no, shut that down. Tell them no. My system here, they
and I
keep
got
bugging.
3 choices. You know, we were speaking about choice, you know.
Yeah.
And now it says restart to install your newest Windows 11, you know. And it gave me 3 choices. You can either restart now, choose your time of restart, or restart later tonight. That's the 3 choices I have. There's not a choice
So
that I don't want it.
there's a fourth option. Don't choose.
The fourth
Right.
option is the big X up in the corner. I'm gonna try that one. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, see, they told me my system here that I'm talking to you guys on, they keep telling me it's not compatible for Windows 11 because I don't have 5G capability, and they are not allowed to install spyware on this system. Now, the new laptop I have that runs my security system, they gave me 2 options: download and install now, or keep Windows 10. And I clicked keep Windows 10 and then got rid of everything that they were trying to put there for Windows 11. Windows 11 will go 5G compatible if your system's, you know, set up for it, but it gives Windows and all browsers, all sites, 100% spying on you.
Oh,
They'll
they're already looking at me.
right. Oh, but this here locks it right in. This here takes right over. They will have complete control of your system.
Yeah.
Complete. That means they'll turn the microphone on and off if they want. They'll turn the camera on and off if they want. They'll do whatever they want to. Because it says learn more about Windows 11, and you
I
go
suspected
there.
that they could do that a long time ago, to be honest, you know.
And well, this here will end it all, because what I was looking for is the option where I could take my laptop down to the bathroom and they were going to wipe my butt for me. But that option wasn't there, so I said, nope, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Install toilet paper app. You know.
Right.
Yeah, I just own my Windows because it couldn't make coffee, you know.
Right,
Well,
exactly.
for that price, it should at least be able to give a cup of coffee, you know.
Okay. So Norway needs toilet paper. You need coffee. The only thing I miss on my smartphone is a lighter. Okay, I mean, a lighter. I mean, is that too much to ask? I just need a lighter.
Is it okay
Right.
with you guys that I bring another guy in here?
Well, for me, guys, I'm gonna have to go. I know my supper's been ready for about an hour, and my stomach's saying feed me.
Yeah.
So I
No,
better go eat.
we're not gonna keep you from your dinner.
Oh
No, but
yeah,
it,
yeah.
it, it
If
was
you
great
get
to
hungry,
meet you
you turn
in
on us.
person. Online, though. Great
But
to speak to
I
you.
will be in the chat, and yes, it was nice meeting you and speaking with all you, and we'll do it again. But I'll
Of
be in
course.
the chat there, stuffing my face. So
Yeah,
maybe
do
I can make it back to 155 pounds instead of 154. Well,
yeah.
I lost I lost a lot of weight when my lungs let go. I lost a lot of weight, so it's hard for me to keep it up. And when I'm hungry, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
So
I'm like that too,
Enjoy.
you know. The world can wait. As we said, that's the only thing that kills human nature and behavior, you know. That's
it
the
is
hunger.
food. It is food.
Yeah.
So, alrighty, guys,
Yeah.
I'll still be in the chat and I'll be listening
It
in.
was
And
lovely having a good conversation today. No way where we actually get to laugh. That was appreciated a much, you know, because it has a tendency to be a little serious when we talk, you know. So, but
right,
today we had fun, and I enjoyed it.
yes, so
So,
I enjoyed it. So, I'll talk to you guys next time. Alrighty,
yeah, yeah. See you, Dave.
yeah, bye bye.
Bye. Oh, so where did you go, Katina? We had Katina in the backspace, but he disappeared.
Katina in the backstage.
Yeah,
Katina in the backstage.
Katina. Yeah. Yeah, cat in a bird cage. Cat Katina in backstage. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to join Katina, just jump back in. You
I
know?
think that's a great. I think that's a great find. You know that name,
Yeah,
Katina Birdcage. I mean, and that's. I love the creativity there.
yeah.
I
It
really.
gives you options.
Yeah.
So yeah. Uh Birdcage backstage. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna do this for like 10 or 15 more minutes, then I'm off too, because it's actually 1 o'clock here and I need to go to work tomorrow. My vacation is over, so if you wanna join Cat in a Birdcage, you have to do it soon because I'm getting tired here as well. And being tired can also a human behavior. So yeah, so we've been around today. It was very fun. I love everything that we've been talking about today, even the serious stuff, and we get to laugh. I don't get to laugh that much, so that's really nice.
It
I
is.
love.
You know, and it
Yeah,
was great to meet Norway. You know,
yeah,
not in real life, but semi-real life.
yeah.
You know, it's
He's
the
just a
man has
good guy,
such a good
like the rest
face.
of us.
The man has such an epic face. You know, I didn't tell him.
Yeah,
He has just an epic face. I mean, when
he's
you
just.
look at the man, you just see Native America, right?
You know what
I'm
I
sorry.
see? I see the definition of calm.
The
He just
definition
seems
of
so calm, you know. The definition of being calm, being
being calm.
at
Oh,
ease,
calm.
you know.
Calmness. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. He just seems so relaxed and so, you know.
Straight.
Even when he
Nothing.
talks, his voice and the way he talks, and
Yeah,
it just he
yeah.
seems so calm, you know, and it's
He has
soothing.
a
Yeah,
very definite character, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Good guy.
yeah.
Uh, So let me shout out some of the players in here. Uh, I think I shouted out most of you, but I haven't shouted out Chappelle, I guess, and Brenda Mitchell have joined while we've been talking for like 2 hours.
Brenda,
So
Mr. Mensa.
Mr. Mensa's here, yeah. All the good people, all the usual suspects, and of course our friend Cat in the Birdcage. So I hope he's coming back.
He should.
Uh,
Ellie B.
Oh,
Did you mention Ellie B? I think you did.
yeah. LB was here from the start, where I think so. She's been here all night, you know. So we must be doing something right.
So, how many viewers are still here? Still 9 viewers. Nice.
Yeah, we were like 15 when we were talking, so
Yeah,
that is unusual for me. I'm not
it is.
if that was if this was a real meeting where I was sitting and I was sitting 15 people in front of me trying to listen to me, I would jam up in an instant.
No,
I'm
we
not,
would just have the same good time. I'm sure.
yeah, no, I'm not that guy, you know. It's easier here and that it is in real life, you know.
Oh well.
I've never been a performer, you know. It's
But
not
you're not
stage here.
performing. Yeah, you're not performing. It's not a
No,
stage.
exactly, and that's why it's
It's
easy. You
like
know?
you said with the first guest. Forget his name. Ken Claudio.
Yeah,
You know, you're not a leader. You're not a follower. You're just here for contact, and I totally recognize that because
yeah.
it's why I'm on YouTube. You know, to be in contact with you guys.
Yeah, and to be recognized as well. That is something is you don't that we compress. You know, we don't want to use that word, but everybody has a need to be recognized, and when it gets hard in these times to be recognized in the people around us, we have to go and be with people who can recognize us for the person that we really are. You know, so
Yeah,
yeah, that is important.
yeah, it is. So on that note, I'm gonna leave
Yeah.
you, Brian,
Yeah,
with your
yeah, I think
show.
that is almost the end of the show. I think that was a good, you know, I don't want to call it a punt, but a punchline maybe. So yeah,
Yeah,
well, I have a lovely time tonight, Voynich, and I
no
don't know
way.
what to say. It was great laughing with you. It was great sharing stories with you. It's all good. This is what it's about, you know. And we
Yeah,
had the best of 10 people here while we were talking for like 3 hours. So
yeah.
so they
There
recognized
was
it as
10 good
well.
people, but there also were some women there. You know?
And I just got a new guideline strike for harassment.
Right?
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. But I enjoyed it, and I can see that people have been enjoying them as well. For once, I had the superior vision today, so I actually could watch the chat while we were talking, and normally I don't do that. But it was pretty easy today because it was an easy, cozy environment, and I loved it. So
nice, always. Hey,
yeah,
Brian, I'm gonna see you on the next one, and
yeah,
I'm gonna say
I'm
goodbye
here.
to Brendan
I'll
Mitchell
be
and
busy
Lee.
this week, so I'll be here next Sunday. That I won't be here before next Sunday.
And Chappelle. Bye bye, Chappelle. Queen Boutica, my ladies, and Mr. Mansa.
Ellie B, she's a lady too.
LVP. I forgot. I'll see you later, Brian. Ciao.
Yeah, see you. Bye, bunnies. So yeah, I'm speechless. It was such a good day. And you know what? This is gonna save my day tomorrow. Well, actually, it's later today. What's gonna happen now is I'm gonna lay down for 4 hours sleep, and then I'm gonna stand up and go to my job and be on the regular life out there in the jungle. Well, no, I want to call it the farm because it's all sheeps out there. You know, it's not even a jungle no more. And I'm gonna think about everything the fun we had tonight. You know, and it's gonna save my day, and that's why I'm here. You know, that is the true fruit of what I am here for. Tomorrow, It's gonna be a better day because I was here with you guys. That is the naked truth of me sitting here and talking. Just to end on a film clip, because it started out with about Hollywood and films. So I want to take a clip from a movie that's not about truth, but it has truth in there. It was with Jack Nicholson. You know, what was it called? I lost that one too. But you'll know the line. You know, Jack Nicholson said, "You all make me want to be a better man." You know, he had to make this compliment for a lady. You know, even though he was an all in his own world. You know, and that the feeling I get when I come here. You know, because out there is the corruption. Out there is everything is there to infiltrate your mind and your nature, you know. And when I come home, I need to eradicate that, you know. And I do that by coming here and listen and talk to people like I have today, like you guys. And that makes me want to be that better man when I go out there tomorrow. If I didn't do it, I would slowly get infiltrated and corrupted by the system just like anyone else. Because everybody needs contact, everybody needs conversation, everybody needs to be recognized, and that's what it's all about. So on that notion, I'm Brian, aka Mr. Copenhagen, aka Rebel TV. No, today I'm just Brian, and I thank you for being here. I thanking you for making me feel this way, you know, and yeah, I'm gonna see you at the next one. So this is Rebel TV, over and out.